live. You're logged out. I mean, you're live.
Oh no, we are live.
Wow.
Wow, it worked this time.
I just always assume that it's going to do something wonky now.
Yeah.
Just for no reason. Anyway, hello. Welcome one and all. How are we, folks? Good afternoon. Welcome to summer. In the summertime. And
the
such.
weather is fine.
Yeg. Not that you'd know, Mr. has air conditioning everywhere.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Yeah. It's got temperature and humidity logging. And for inside and outside. And at one point, it was the fact that it was looking at it and it registered the humidity as 92%. And I was just like, Anyway, dehumidify.
Yeah, so you basically, I was about to make a joke how you were just like, oh yeah, well I've got the air condition, but it was so humid, so I had to reach for the remote and turn the humidity down, and then it sounded like you were going to make a comment about just the general humidity, and you ended it on the joke that I was going to make anyway. It's hot. Graham only has a t-shirt. I know, right? I was wearing 3/4 lengths for most of this week. I put on full-length trousers today because I wasn't sure if the temperature was going to keep dropping, and I don't want to get chilly. But yes, it is 100% t-shirt weather. So yes. I desperately need to get a haircut because my hair is getting too shaggy, but I'm in the middle of doing a review video where I'm recording the talking head stuff in as I go. So I can't get a haircut yet because I need to finish that video. Otherwise I'll get like a massive haircut halfway through the video.
You need to do that just for the conclusion. In conclusion, I tore all my hair out.
Oh no. I mean, that's what would happen if I finished the Linux challenge video now. I actually just need to throw that video out and start again. I am just going to throw it out and start again. It's the only way now. It's just that what I have made has gone too stale, and I just need to just do it again. It won't be. I'll still be talking in retrospect of when I did it for real, but I need to set up the computer from scratch, record all the B-roll, re-record all of the talking head stuff again from scratch. So yeah, because also the talking head stuff is all half of the script. So like the back half of the video hasn't been recorded yet, and obviously my hair and the background and stuff is all bits have moved around on shelves and stuff, and just we've just got to do it all again. So yeah. So yes, that's the thing I'm going to be working on soon, but that's low priority at the moment. I've got a couple of other videos to do. The Geekom Mini PC review is going to get finished this weekend,
cool.
And that ended up going really well. On Thursday evening on the Twitch stream, I was editing that, and we did all the B-roll for the gaming testing, and then last night I did more testing with Doom Eternal and Forza Horizon 6.
Oh, cool.
It was Forza Horizon 6. It was entirely capable.
You can wind that right down to minimum as well, and it still looks pretty good. Yeah,
low settings, native resolution. It was sort of mid 50s FPS at 1080p. Yeah. And the game looked decent. Yeah. And if I turned on FSR, that got us up to a pretty confident 60. So if you're just like, it has to be 60, you can turn on FSR and get there.
Yeah,
however, certainly on the benchmark mode of it, FSR looked pretty muddy because it was a rainy track in a city in a city centre. So it was very just grey concrete. And FSR was just extremely muddy on that scene. So I was like, oh, that doesn't look good. Yeah. So I actually thought it looked... If it were me, I would be running it low settings, 1080p, FSR off. But you could turn on FSR and just get a little bit more out of it. But either way, it 100% could run it. And I'm just like, this is an iGPU running a AAA game. And I'm like, that's all right. Just overall, the whole thing. I was really worried when this thing showed up because I was just like, oh, Radeon 890M, man. what do you want me to do with this?
Yeah.
But it does it.
It works.
Yeah, it works. You know. Yeah, it was. It's fine. You can
It's
use
just
it.
one of those things where, again, the price will make or break it completely.
Well, that's the thing. I need to drop an email to Geekom tonight, just so I don't forget, and say, what's the retail price on this going to be? Because I need to record the conclusion where I talk about the price. However, obviously at the moment I've been basing my estimate based on how much the previous version of this cost. And that is looking like it's like $900 or something like that.
Yeah.
But also, I think that's based on just current memory and storage pricing. Initially I was looking at that and being like, no, it's dead in the water. But when you look at just the cost of just everything now, that's just how much it costs. And I'm like, I don't think, the price on it sucks, but that's because the price of everything sucks right now. So I think the conclusion is going to be, yeah, the price isn't great, but that's just because right now nothing is well priced. If value for money is bad, but if I compare it against what else this amount of money buys you for similar products, that's just how much they cost.
Yeah.
If you compare it against laptops and handhelds, the price makes sense. The problem is that if you compare it against a custom-built gaming PC that you're building either from scratch or possibly with a little bit of reconditioned parts in, like a second-hand graphics card, it's dead in the water. But at that point, it's a case of, okay, well, what do you actually want then? Because this is a mini PC that you can put into, you can throw all of this in a bag and put it all in a suitcase kind of thing. And it's a low-power device and it's small and quiet. So it depends. Do you want that or do you want gaming PC? These are two different products here. So what do you need from this device? If you want that portability and smallness and all the rest of it, then this is good. If you don't care about any of that and you're just trying to get frames per dollar, then no, you build a gaming PC.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yes, that's nearly done.
Did you try winding down the wattage on it to see if you could get it to run at less than 100 watts?
So it doesn't support power delivery input. It only runs on its DC jack.
Even though it had a Type-C with the power connector.
Yeah, so you can't power it for that means power delivery output. It means that USB port can power devices.
Interesting, because obviously the spec says bidirectionality.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. But yeah.
I'll do one more test on it when I get home just to be absolutely certain. Yeah. Because when I test it, I think I tested it on like an Apple power delivery adapter, which is not spec compliant. So
or certainly at least you can have weird communication.
Yeah, so I need to test it on something else just to be absolutely certain. However, it doesn't look that way. I think when it has the power symbol there, that's intent because it means it can power a Type-C display and things like that.
Yeah,
I think that's the intended use case of the port, which makes sense. However, also though, I did run it on like the 95 watt. The power delivery adapter I've got on the bench, I had that going into a DC adapter cable, so it had a 95 watt DC input and it didn't blink. It didn't, and all of the at the wall testing I've done has shown that that it's looking for up to 85, maybe 90 watt peaks at the wall.
Oh, that's good.
And I think the 120 watt power supply it comes with is to factor in that if you are powering a display from it, you've got another 20 or 30 watts from the display as well.
Yeah.
So I think that's what's going on there. So yes. I'll do weird stuff. Absolutely not. I know, right? PC Mike, thank you for the £5. Good afternoon, gentlemen. It's been a while since I caught a stream. Hope you guys are doing well. We are, thank you. The weather is fine, and we've got cool drinks.
You've even got one in the fridge, I think.
Yeah, you put the pink cider in the fridge last week. So yes. But yeah, so that was interesting. I was a little bit slow to get going on that review, but now I've nearly got it done. I'm just like, okay, I think I've got the swing of this and could do possibly more of it in the future. So yeah,
That's good.
and then coming up, I'm doing a sponsor video for ESUS partition management. So that's I need to start getting to work on that one.
Have they given you the software and the licensing?
Yes, I've got a license key for that now, so I can actually start using it. Because
please review this using only the free version.
Yeah, well, they initially sent me they sent me the spec document saying, this is what we want you to do in the video, and I read through that, and the spec document was just like, use this software, press license kind of thing. I'm just like, what press license? I don't have a code, and so I replied back. I'm like, cool, but like, I need a code. You got to send me something, So yeah, I have that now, so I can get on with that. But yes, I've also got a repair video that is edited and done and ready to publish. I'm going to put that out this weekend. So there is a repair video between review stuff to space things out. And that video is already ready to watch if you're in the exclusive Discord chat room. So yes. Anyway, that's what's going on coming up.
What's going on?
Yes. However, what's going on and coming up in this podcast, in this stream that we're doing, is this laptop. This is a Compaq Armada. It's a Compaq Armada. This is a Compaq Armada. I can't find a model number on it. I don't know. Series PP2060. Let's go with that.
Good.
Anyway, this belongs to a friend of mine.
Modem. Oh, the modem was assembled in Taiwan.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Excellent.
This belongs to a friend of mine who likes vintage stuff. And that's not great. Just noticed there's that. We'll take a closer look at that under the camera in a sec.
Yeah.
They like vintage stuff. Sorry, we're closed. Sorry, we're closed. I don't know what you want. Where was I? Yeah. He likes vintage stuff, and so he picked up this laptop, and it worked for a short time for him, and then it died. I've just noticed these little feet that come out on the bottom of it. It's got these little feet that flip out and prop it up. How cool is that? Anyway, it worked for a short amount of time, and then it died. And so when I was visiting him a couple of weeks ago, he was just like, oh, do you reckon you could have a look at it? And I was like, I'm not very good with vintage stuff, but I'll try it out. Oh, here we go. It's an Armada E500. So, do you want to give us a desk cam? We're going to have a look at this thing. And
how? Thanks.
Hey.
Oh, now we need to.
Yeah, I would say we need to check if the camera is like rotated in the correct orientation, but I've lost track and it doesn't matter. Anyway, so we want to see if we can get this working. Is that completely toast, that key? The scissor mech is damaged. That might be refittable. Come back to that. Anyway, so I thought we'd have a look at this and see if we can get it going. I don't know what our chances are, but whatever. I thought it might be interesting to look at. It's got. I don't know what's in it.
It's got parts.
Yeah. It's missing a battery because obviously the battery is toast. But it's got a single USB port, which I'm guessing is USB. It might be 1.1.
Maybe.
Might be 1.0. But yeah. Anyway, it's got an IR blaster on it. Shout out to all the kids who used IR blasters back in the day. So yes, that was me. I used IR blasters.
I used dial-up internet via IR once.
Gosh. That must have been awful, but yeah. But yes. So, the symptoms are, when you turn it on, if my memory serves me, I think it comes on for a moment and then it cuts out. And it makes I think there was a weird ticking noise or something. So let's just plug it in and see what it does, and then we'll open it up and see what it does.
Oh no. It'll be like that one mini PC.
Yeah, well that's the problem. I think it has a secondary rail short. I think it has a secondary rail short that is stopping it from working. But don't know. So, yeah. I'm going to... Oh my gosh, this... Okay. the charger was about as tangled as it's possible for a charger to be.
It's also really long.
Yeah, it's got like a 2 meter.
Good.
It's got a 2 meter cable on the thing. This is a much newer charger. This charger is probably like from the mid to late noughties.
Yeah, instead of being this big.
Yeah. Right.
Switching power supplies. That's the yes. I started a thought there and then didn't complete it. I was just like, oh yes, it got a lot smaller with switching power supplies.
Yes. Right. So we've got two blinking lights. So that's the power light and the charge light. Like, the charge light might be flashing because there's no battery in the laptop. So we're expecting it to be some kind of unhappy. So let's just see what it does.
Was that the speaker randomly powering up?
It had already turned on. I pushed the power button and it power cycled. Or is that just white noise from the speaker? I think it might be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't know. Slide switch.
Yeah.
Don't know what that does. That's a restart, maybe? Don't know. So yeah, I don't. This might be a very short-lived adventure, but I figured the least we could do is just open it up and take a look inside and see if we can spot anything. So yeah.
So, how come they have this laptop? If that makes sense, you said they liked retro stuff, but
Yeah.
what was retro about? If that makes sense, was there a particular reason they had this one?
No, I think they just spotted it, probably at a charity shop or something like that, and they were like, that's cool, I'm going to buy it for £5 or whatever. Floppy drive.
Looks quite hard.
A Lamau. How does that...
How do you work?
I think that just... That might have a locking screw in it. I'm not gonna force that. But yeah, that probably slides out.
That's kind of cool.
Okay, right. So I am going to grab a screwdriver and just start zapping screws out, and we'll see how far we get, I guess. So yeah.
Do you have any electric screwdrivers left?
I've got one. I've got a cheap one that I found in a box, and I was like, oh, I do still have an electric screwdriver, but this one's kind of not very good. At some point, I just bought the cheapest one I could find.
Oh, yeah.
As just a test to see what the cheapest one I could find looked like. And, you know, it functions, but it's too slow. I'm just like, yeah, this is too slow. I would just never use this. Whereas the Secure, before the gearbox on it failed, it lasted a decent amount of time, in fairness.
Yeah.
The Secure was about as fast as I could take out a screw anyway. So it was actually worth using. I should probably take off these panels first, so let's have a nosy. Oh, you're right. The CD. Yeah, there's the unlocking switch for the. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, well spotted. I didn't see that there. So yeah, there's the. See, Compaq Computer Corporation, made in Indonesia. Yeah, I don't see any other branding on that. So, like, I doubt Compaq actually made this. But it's certainly they've got their own label on it. They might have made it themselves. Anyone know? I assume this is just a 1X CD-ROM or something, but might be more than one times. I don't know my CD-ROM speed eras very well. Okay, looking under here, we've got CPU, and we've got the modem. Right, are all of these screws different? No, they're not all different, which is nice. And then this is going to be our... Oh no, there's our hard drive. Oh, it's a Death Star. Delicious. Right, we've got a 5 GB 4200 RPM, Desk Star. Well, Travel Star.
That's bigger than I was expecting. I thought it was going to be like a 1 gigabyte or something.
I'm not sure, actually. Yeah, has anyone got an actual date on this? Because
Someone said 1999, I think.
E500, 99. That sounds plausible. And for 99, 5 gigabytes in a laptop in 99.
But I was just expecting it to be something funny, like, oh, here is like your 768 kilobyte hard drive.
No, well, that's the thing.
Or something completely ridiculous.
Yeah, because this is the point where you start thinking, okay, well, what did I have in 1999? Oh, actually, this has got a date on it, July 00, July 2000. So yeah, I was trying to think, okay, what did I have around that time period? I'm like, well, that was my Pentium 3 copper mine. Oh no, not in 2000. That would have been like 2001, maybe. Yeah. And so 2000, I probably only had like a 4 gigabyte and a 1 gigabyte hard drive, and then when I built my Pentium 3 machine, which was the first computer I built, that probably had like, I don't know, a 10 or a 20 gigabyte drive in it, if that's what we went to by that point.
Yeah.
I genuinely can't remember. I don't remember what storage we had back then at all. Is that PATA? Yes, it's PATA with a. It's got a connector block on it. I always used to call this a biscuit. I can't remember where I heard that term before, but well, I'll take it off just to demonstrate. These were extremely common all the way up to and including SATA drives. If I undo the screws from the side here. SATA and PATA. That screw felt very strange. Is that shredded? Nope. This one randomly has. Oh no, they're all they're all Torx heads, and I was just brute forcing it with a Phillips. But okay. Let's see. Okay. There we go. Right, so there's your 44-pin parallel interface.
Oh yeah, it makes sense why you'd put a...
And then, they used to have these... It's not... The frame isn't common. Normally you would just have the plastic block on the end. And yeah, as I say, I used to call this a biscuit. And then it will convert that into whatever interface the motherboard has on it. This was very common up to and including SATA, and then after a while they did it on SATA just out of habit because that was just the connectors they put on the motherboards, and then they were just like, wait, we could just put SATA directly on the motherboard and just ditch this altogether, then they did. So that's why that's why the hard drive connector looks odd. It is just 44-pin parallel. As opposed to 40-pin parallel, the difference is the laptop parallel interface has got an extra 4 pins on, which is the power for the drive, whereas the 3.5-inch version is 40-pin, and then you actually have a separate power connector. For these, the power is on the data interface. It's the extra 4 pins.
Are those 4 pins the same 4 pins as the desktop power? Because obviously, the desktop was 12 volt, 5 volt, 3.
Yeah. I think it's just 2 5 volts and 2 grounds, if my memory serves me. Because it's still a 5 volt drive. Carefully put that back on.
Yeah. PATA and IDE are not the same thing. Because IDE is technically any drive that has a controller on the drive.
Yeah.
However, as a colloquialism,
yes,
they are basically the same thing.
Yeah. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to split those hairs.
No, but it was just a case of someone saying, when do we start calling it PATA? Technically, the connector, the actual drive connection has always been parallel ATA.
Yes.
Or that, because that's what the actual connection is called.
Yes,
but
correct,
everyone interchangeably called it PATA or IDE.
Yeah, I think everyone started calling it... people kept calling it IDE pretty deep into the SATA era. And then at some point,
Yeah.
people were just like, okay, look. Then at some point, people retroactively started saying, no, it's parallel ATA and serial ATA because technically they both have integrated drive electronics, etc., etc. Yeah, but yeah,
it's kind of like the difference between M.2 and PCI Express.
Yeah. Of course, IDE is not a connector type, but principally, yes.
Yeah, but yeah, in that kind of description way, the description is used.
Yeah. So yes, not incorrect. However, if anyone is just like, actually, I'll be like, no, just shut up. You know what I mean, man.
Oh, are those pegs just to effectively line it up and hold it in? Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I assumed they were two big power bus bars.
No.
For a second there.
Yeah, just alignment. Which again is nice. It just means that when you go to slot this in, it just aligns the edge connector perfectly. This is the kind of thing that I would like to see on more stuff, because especially on like removable DVD drives, when you slot these in, a lot of the time you have to fumble it a couple of times to get the connector to align. So it was nice touch, you know. In a shock to no one, they don't build them like they used to. I'll put that down there and we'll carry on taking screws out. No direct access to the RAM then apparently on this.
In a way, I'd hope they don't build them like they used to.
Yeah, you know.
Please may I have my arsenic and lead-free computers?
Yeah.
However, if you wish, you can have your 130 nanometer processor.
Let's see. I'm going to start paying attention to where these screws go, just so I have half a chance of being able to put this back together again. Any screws there? Yep.
Yeah. Also, yes, batteries are much better now.
Yeah, unfortunately we don't have the old battery, so we can't actually look at the spec on it, because that would be interesting to see what the capacity on it actually is, because obviously it's a mixture of both battery capacity and power draw. It would be interesting to see how much capacity has actually changed. Like, obviously the batteries are more have much more endurance. They can take more cycles and stuff like that, and they're lighter. But I wonder how much the capacity has actually increased.
I'd imagine quite a lot.
Or sorry, I'll rephrase that. The energy density, you know.
Oh, the density.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, substantially, dependent on which generation of battery it came with.
Yeah.
Because obviously, like the very first ones were lead acid.
Yeah, I think my friend said this had a lithium ion in it.
So so going from like the very early lead acid ones to even just NiCad ones, your energy per kilogram is going to double.
Oh yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then going from NiCad to lithium is going to double again.
I think you have to go back to like extremely early laptops, like, you know, I think you've got to go back to like Pentium 1 laptops before you might have NiCad. Or maybe even before you run into nickel metal hydride, because I think laptops just weren't even viable until they had nickel metal hydride batteries in them.
And then, like with lithium ion, the peak possible density has gone up by 40 times since 2000, I think.
Wow. Okay. Fair. Yeah.
But obviously, what that's actually done in consumer spaces, I don't know.
Yeah. Your old DeWalt batteries were NiCad. Yeah, cordless tools used quite old battery chemistries for a long time, because those old battery chemistries were bomb-proof, basically. You know, they were extremely rugged, which is kind of what they needed to be for tools.
What was this in the E500?
Yeah, one sec. The keyboard fell out. Yes, Armada E500. Let's check if there are any more screws under the keyboard. I forgot to check there.
Service and maintenance manual.
Keyboard. Oh, here's our RAM. It was underneath the keyboard. Damn, this thing's got 512 in it. What the hell? Someone stacked this thing. That is a extraordinary amount of RAM for the era. CL2. Imagine. PC 100 222. Rad. I shall leave that in because it's not relevant. Okay, do we have any screws? Right, what's going on?
Wow,
here?
24x max CD-ROM drive.
24x. Oh, that's, yeah. Oh, wow, yeah. Oh, that was available with quite... This was available in a very wide thing. Oh, we've got a key. Is that for this? Yeah, hang on a sec. Just show this on screen, because this is interesting. We've got a full model number decode here.
Browser. Oh my god. Randomly, massively laggy.
Yeah, Repload, I completely forgot that the keyboard would come off and like the top would come off. I've just forgotten how to take apart old laptops. It's amazing. The skill degradation is real. Right. Oh, the serial number is just vanished. So the serial number is illegible, so we don't actually know. Is there any other marks on it? No. Okay, this would have been really useful because we could have determined the spec from it. We might be able to figure some of it out because the hard drive was a 5 GB. That's not in that listing, so that might...
Yeah.
It must be the original hard drive though, because it's still got the foil on it, and the foil is stuck down, so that's definitely an original hard drive. However,
this laptop could ship with Windows 98, Windows 95, 98 dual install, NT4 or NT4 and 2000s dual install.
Yeah, and also like a Celeron, a Pentium 2 or a Pentium 3. It was available with a really wide range of stuff in it. So yeah, it could be anything.
And like, and 10 variations of processor.
Yeah, do you have a barcode reader? Well, we don't have a barcode, so yeah. Okay, I'm going to carry on figuring out how to open this thing up. I'm just going to carry on taking out screws. I'm not sure. I don't know whether we're taking off the top or the bottom right now. Maybe there.
End user must make a selection between the two operating systems. If end user desires rejected product after selection is made, end user must acquire and pay for rejected product separately.
I see.
Huh?
Yeah. Oh, do you just want to take us back to a bench cam a moment, if we're not already? Yeah. Another thing I'd spotted that I pointed out earlier on as well, we've got this gap here with a trapped cable in the display assembly, so we're just going to keep a mental note of that as well. Right, I'm just taking out the last couple of screws, and then I'm just going to see how it falls apart, basically.
You have the option between a pointing stick and a touchpad.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This one is just new enough to have a touchpad on it as well. Yeah. So this would have been a very early touchpad.
Oh my god.
Right. Ah. Weird noise, but okay. Right. What wants to open here? I think the top chassis might come off. That's... The top chassis is moving. Oh, we might have something here. Are you coming off? But that will want to take the display assembly with it. That's a hinge cover. That's what was crunching around. Okay. Man. Power button bezel comes off. It did look that way. And yeah, that might be hiding screws because it feels like something around here is screwed in still, and that lines up with the power button bezel. So yeah, let's take off this.
Accepts a 9 or a 6 cell lithium ion primary pack. Accepts a removable diskette drive or 9 or 6 cell battery pack.
Oh, you can put another battery in the floppy drive bay. Is that?
I think so.
Yeah, it's got a power connector in there. I'll just show that on camera. Yeah, you can just see down there in the lower right, you can see there's a spade connectors for a secondary battery, and then directly under that is the connector for the floppy drive.
So you could have 2 batteries.
Possibly same goes for the DVD drive, because there's another power connector in the lower left of that DVD bay, or CD bay as well.
Ah.
So yeah, you could possibly just load this thing up with batteries.
I require 5 hours of runtime.
Okay.
Power suspend light. On, power is on. Off, power is turned off. Blinking, computer is in suspend. Or the battery pack is critical with hibernation disabled.
Okay. Okay, right. The display assembly is coming off. Yeah. You know, this style, this order of disassembly is vaguely familiar. I think I've seen stuff come apart like this before, just not in a long time. There's our display connector, and then we've got more.
Composite TV connector. Connects a television, VCR, camcorder, or overhead projector.
Okay, there's our display assembly.
Oh my god!
What else have you run into?
Connects USB devices, such as cameras for video conferencing.
Yeah, I mean webcams,
Yeah,
they go back pretty far.
but like specifically listing that in the
For
manual as well.
conferencing, yeah.
Yeah, you're just
I mean,
like,
business people were the only people who could afford this stuff.
yeah. And I guess over a local network, video conferencing would be possible, because I can't imagine doing video conferencing on dial-up.
No, you're right, yeah. I mean, ISDN, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, that would have given you a maximum of 128 kilobit.
Yeah. I don't know how small you could make a video stream. I mean, we didn't have real-time compression, so no, you can't make it small because there's no compression. Yeah, you just yeah.
When was 1 gigabit networking?
Something.
Gigabit Ethernet.
Okay, I'm just going to do a little bit of gentle prying here. It's very close, but
1999. Okay. You could, have a local LAN that was 1 gigabit when this computer was out. So video conferencing over 1 gigabit, sort of an internal conferencing.
yeah, maybe.
Absolutely. Yeah.
If you couldn't be bothered to take the stairs. Okay, right, we're getting somewhere.
Well, also depends on how many people you've got, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because if you need a one-to-many broadcast, effectively, and you haven't got a single room big enough, and so on. But yeah.
Okay, trackpad.
Yeah.
And also trackpad. God, there's trackpad data and I think trackpad power. There we go. Oops. All right, there goes the power buttons and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. What a mission.
Docking connector connects a computer to expansion base, convenience base, or port replicator.
Yeah, it'll be that monster on the back. Am I still on shot, by the way? Can we just, I need to check where, okay, yeah, I'm basically on shot. I'm fine. Yeah, I'm fine basically all the way up to the edge of the desk. Okay, that's fine. was going to say, I didn't actually know where my...
Oh yeah, I did frame it so the edge of a table was the edge of a frame.
Good. Thank you.
I sometimes pay attention to what's going on.
All right. My objective is just to get down to the motherboard and then just stare real close at the motherboard and see if I can spot anything that might be problems. And then if I don't spot anything, I guess we'll start putting it back together again, bit by bit, and we'll see if we can power it up in various stages of disassembly and see how far we get. Like, for example, if we power it on without the display, maybe it'll power on with the display disconnected, in which case it's those trapped wires in the display, and so on. That's going to be my strategy here.
Press the magnifying glass button to open search. Opens the Alta Vista search engine
Alta
website.
Vista. Now, there's a name I've not heard in a long time. Oh, now someone else is trying to come in as well. We're closed. We're never open at this time. I do not make eye contact. Oh. Yeah, okay, let's do... Let's put that back in position a little bit. This is getting complicated, and I'm going to take some pictures so I can tell what was where. Okay. I like how the moment I chose to risk looking at the door to see they were still there, I was just like, glare. Okay, right. Screws, take off this tin shield. Perhaps, yeah, that's a separate unit. I think that'll get me in there. Those are display assembly. Huh, okay. God, so much. Wow, look at that, an ATI Rage. What are you?
Angry.
Yeah. ATI Rage Mobility. A lot of Texas Instruments stuff. Intel Flash, wow. AGP set, interesting. All right, let's keep taking this apart. I guess I may as well just go down. I may as well take the motherboard out so we can just peer at the CPU and stuff and be like, oh, look at that, it's a CPU. What have you found?
Just the recommended action for this failure. Run computer setup to reinitialize CMOS RAM.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Right, that's... I think we've got to take off the CPU cooler to make further progress. What is that monster? Oh, that's for some kind of... I think we've got a mezzanine board here.
No interrupts from timer 0. Description: the periodic timer interrupt is not occurring. Recommended action: replace the system board.
Wiggle. Okay, more screws.
ROM at XXXX, length YYYY with non-zero checksum ZZ. An illegal adapter ROM was located at the specified address. Check the external adapter, such as a video card, to determine if it is causing the conflict.
Man, kids these days, myself included, because this is right at the start when I started using computers, just no idea how complicated things sometimes could get. So much stuff these days, just fully automatic. Okay, right. There's our CPU cooler.
Oh my god.
It is just a chunk of metal. And CPU. All right, Caradog, bash this into DuckDuckGo, because we don't Google anymore. Because Google can die in a fire.
I'm ducking.
L031A448. What does that get you?
Traffic news for the A448.
Okay, what about KC550/128?
KC550.
You need a 0 on there, /128. That's KC space 0.
Internal integrated circuits?
Maybe.
Some sort of BGA? A switch rotary SP2 POS non-short that includes KC series.
What about SL3ZE?
SL3Z. Whoops, 3ZE. Sleaze. Intel Celeron 550.
There we go. Yeah, so it's a Celeron 550. That, and like it being a 5, that tallies with the 550 that we got there. 128. That's probably 128 cache. Yeah, 128K Level 2 cache. There we go. So yeah, this is the Celeron version then. Very well. Okay, and that's taken off the back plate with it.
Is that just a... Oh, okay. I thought this was going to be like a 5mm sheet or something.
No. These things probably don't use that much power just purely because they're just not very powerful. Because, like, don't forget, back in the day, the CPUs of yore, they didn't need big heat sinks and stuff, and they just didn't actually use very much power because they didn't really do a lot. So actually, that's probably why the power consumption of the old laptops wasn't that awful, just simply because the CPUs weren't powerful enough. Oh, this RAM definitely isn't original. There's no planet where this RAM is original. Not with 512 megs in there. Actually, you had the spec sheet available. What RAM spec was this available with?
I don't remember. 1 second.
Oh wow, you're deep into the service manual of this thing. 17 to 19, 64 megabytes. That was the only option.
Yeah.
So yeah, originally it came with 64 megabytes. So yeah, at some point after the fact, someone's just put in a whacking great RAM kit. Might have been my friend, I don't know. I don't know how deep into this thing they've ever been. But like, that's just keyboard off, so that's not hard to get to. So yeah, we've got lots of tantalum capacitors and stuff like that. So these are all suspects in our no power situation. You ready to come out? Maybe. Don't know how. Am I gonna take the motherboard out? I think I am. We've come this far. I'm just gonna go the whole way, I think. So that will... That doesn't want to move. Okay, that's ready to go. Right, I think I've just got to take off the standoffs from the back and the motherboard will come out.
Core voltage 1.6.
Oh well, I mean, we laugh, but that's not huge. I bet desktop CPUs were like 2 volts at the time.
Yeah, probably.
I have no idea. What was the core voltage on I don't know, a Pentium 3 copper mine?
No idea.
Search these questions for me.
I would do if your keyboard typed.
I know. We've put new things in that. I think we'll have to move the receiver for that to like the front USB port. I think it's just too close to the mics.
Punches monitor.
Oh yeah, no, it's absolutely. I don't know if it's even DDR1. This is PC100. This is SODIMM. I'm amazed that you can get sodium in this kind of density. Because DDR didn't come in until Pentium 4? Pentium 4 and Athlon? Was Athlon DDR?
Almost certainly.
Sorry, Athlon XP to be clear.
Almost certainly.
Yeah.
Copper mine. V core was between 1.6 and 1.75.
Oh, okay, yeah. So they were starting to bring it down at that point.
Yeah. The Katmai, or whatever it was, version on the 250 nanometer
Katmai
process was 2.05 volt for the 600 megahertz.
Wow. Okay,
And
yeah. So Coppermine wasn't the first then. Coppermine was the second revision.
Yeah. And then you had 2Altin as kind of the final revision, which got the voltage down to 1.475.
Yeah.
Oh, you could get you could get Coppermine on slot 1.
Yes.
I forgot that.
Yeah. Yeah. FPGA was more common, I think. But yeah, there was still the dream that slot 1 was just going to be the expansion port for your CPU. But the and also, but I think it got torpedoed because the latency to the rest of the system was getting bonkers. And like the nice thing is that you could have the off-board level 2 cache. But I think when Pentium 3 rolled around, by that point now they were putting the level 2 cache into the chip itself, and so there was just no point in having it on a slot anymore.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Is this the live where the chat's not read usually? We do read the chat, but sometimes we forget about the chat and then we come back to it. The chat is read randomly, basically. Every now and then I look up and just quickly scan through the chat. So yes,
it looks
interaction is average.
It looks so weird just there being such a big hole in the middle.
I know. It's crazy. Like you could just count the number of pins there.
Yeah, because it's also kind of the thing for me with that is like, obviously I know nothing about making a processor, but it's at the point where you're just kind of like, why didn't you make it that much smaller and have less of a big hole in the middle? The density is so kind of low and so on all of it.
Presumably because don't forget, you've got to break out from the silicon die. You've then got to do all of the wires going to the pins, and so you need an amount of space to mount all of the pins.
Oh yeah,
with the wires
I'm just
going
thinking,
to them.
just kind of obviously like you know AM4 socket 1337.
Yeah, but
where
then,
they did that under the dies.
Yeah, again,
So it's
just manufacturing.
Yeah.
So yeah. Right.
Ah yes. Socket 370, socket 370, 370. I don't know which way are we breaking
socket
this?
370
Yeah.
is how I would say it.
Yeah. Would you like to know about its processor mechanical load limits? Because that's on the Wikipedia page.
I see. First CPU that used DDR was an Athlon. Yeah. That sounds about right. Oh, right, what is holding me? Oh, all the way to the end, huh?
Yeah.
That's not part of that. Oh, okay. I've nearly got this wretched thing out. Can I just be a hero here? Come on. Come on, there we go. Did it. All right.
Oh, look at that.
I don't think it was worth it. I don't think there's anything to see on this side, but wow, that is a... well, I said I don't think it's worth it, but that's a very poorly looking... Good grief, look at the state of that electrolytic.
Yes.
That guy
That's quite dented.
That guy does not look okay.
There we go.
Well, that might be your problem.
What's the black plastic around it at the bottom?
It's just the mounting for it. It's because it's SMD, it's not through hole. SMD electrolytics sit on this little plastic tray, which holds the pins in place.
Whack.
So yeah. That might be our problem, but also this thing is old, so it might be riddled with stuff that looks like that. But then on the flip side, if we go over to these other, here's some more electrolytics, and those guys look fine.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, by comparison, you know. So yeah, that might be it. That might be the fault, because that. I don't know. Who knows? Either way, right, let's put the chassis to one side. I need to sort of sit down and be like, right, let's maintain focus here. What am I doing and what are my objectives? And am I burying the hard drive under heavy objects? Right, what's this little mezzanine? Oh, I think that's... Is that CPU V-Core on a mezzanine board? Yes. Wow, how about that? CPU V-Core, anyone? Just cool. Sanyo capacitors. Are they all Sanyos? Yeah, all Sanyo capacitors. So yeah, that's CPU V-Core just on this daughter board, which is kind of interesting. I say CPU V-Core because I can't think what else that would be. We've got a bunch of capacitor bypassing around here, but there's nothing else that looks like it's CPU power. So that must be just V-Core on a daughter board. And this was common on, if you look at desktop motherboards from the similar era, it was not uncommon to see a daughter board that was mounted at 90 degrees on the motherboard that just had V-Core on it. Because at that point, the response times were so low that it didn't matter if V-Core was half a mile down the road from your CPU. So yeah. Okay, right. I'm gonna get my multimeter and we'll do some stabbing. I've no idea where to probe this thing, so I'm just gonna start probing what looks like power stuff, including that capacitor.
Oh yeah, one motherboard to produce and change the daughter board per CPU. Yeah.
I suppose. I mean, the CPU is still BGA soldered in. In fact, yeah, the CPU is BGA. Yeah. Well, I was expressing surprise that the CPU isn't socketed, but I guess it's smaller. I don't know, actually. Yeah. No, I don't know anything about that. Yeah. Maybe they just hadn't sorted out sockets for this stuff at that time. I think it's mainly just space constraints. I think they just didn't have space for the CPU power supply on the board, so they just put it on a mezzanine. Alright, so I put my multimeter into continuity mode and I find a nice big negative, and we probe the DC input. 70 ohms. That's not a lot. That should be ground. Yeah, that should be ground. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to start stabbing some capacitors. A lot. That's all the same rail. So that's this power section here. No idea what that is. What's on the other side of it? I'm not going to take a guess as to what sections are what unless I'm really certain, because I don't know on something this old.
If you pull off the daughter board, does the resistance change?
We could check it. I'll check these capacitors next to the CPU first. This should be on V-core. So there's 110 ohms at what is probably CPU V-core. Then if I take off the thing and check it again, 110 ohms.
Sorry, I meant to the power connector.
Oh yeah, to the power connector. Okay, one sec. Yeah, that's 110 as well. And
so obviously immediately lets you narrow it down.
Yeah. Still 70.
Yeah. Then if there is an issue, it's not on the daughter board.
No, I've kind of. Oh well, I mean, yeah, this looks in pretty good shape. Let's go straight to the bit that we spotted first, because if this capacitor is shorted, then that means that it's something. So yeah. Right. So.
Oh dear.
Negative to positive. Well, it's not shorted.
13 kiloohms.
Yeah. I mean, there's no planet where that capacitor works, but it's not shorted. But that doesn't mean that it's not our fault, you know. That still could be a power supply that's not coming on properly and causing the laptop to freak out. The fact that the laptop tries to do something when you turn it on, so yeah. I don't think we're going to find any meaningful shorts on this. I think this is going to be a matter of just trying to power it on under different circumstances. What do I think that's powering? That must be power to the hard drive, because this is the hard drive connector. What's on the other side there? On the other side we've got all of this stuff.
Wow, that's a big
yeah.
thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of sort of just discrete controllers here. Obviously, like, we do have a chipset, but a lot of stuff was still, like, we've got a north and a south bridge, but there's still a lot of stuff that was discrete controllers, I think. Like, I think we have a discrete PCI controller, and then this is something, you know, like what would
what does that say on it?
What, the SMS thing?
Yeah.
FDC37 N971. So FD37 N971.
As a result again. So at least
FDC floppy disk controller. That makes sense. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Because ironically, yeah. Okay, right. Thinking. Right, so do I think this
You
is
can still
powering?
buy them.
Wow. It's just new old stock, I guess. So what do I think is going on down here?
Did you duckle the board number?
Well, yeah, there might be schematics and stuff available for it. We could do that. I'm trying to think, because, like, I'm not pretending to be an expert here. I'm kind of just poking it and just seeing if I can spot something screamingly obvious where I can be like, oh, cool, there we go, that's it. Because, like, we got that lucky find with the capacitor. Maybe it'll start with the hard drive not in it, you know.
Maybe.
I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a rough reassembly, and I'm going to try and start it with, like, I'm going to try and bare boot this thing and see if it does anything with, like, the display disconnected and stuff. See if it shows any kind of signs of life, and then we can move forward from there, just to see if we can narrow down where our fault is. Because, like, if we find that it will turn on with no hard drive connector, we can be like, cool, well, it has to be that then that's upsetting it. You know, that basically just process of elimination diagnostics. Because yeah, past that, I don't know enough about this era of motherboard to really start diagnosing it. I don't know what secondary rails to check on this. So yeah.
Oh wow. If you wanted a board, you could just buy a working board for 30 quid.
Wow, with a Pentium 3 on it as well.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, stick that on the watch list straight away. Just
Add to watch list.
yeah, just simply because just thinking ahead, you know,
Like, in the scale of things,
if I
yeah.
can't figure this out, and I say, you know, look, I couldn't. If I say to my friend, I couldn't figure this out, but there's a Pentium 3 board for this on eBay for 30 quid. Do you want me to just put that in it? You know.
As long as it's like the same.
Yeah, that's true. We don't know how much supporting stuff might be different. Like, does it have the mezzanine for the CPU power? Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Sorry, I meant like the connector placement on the back.
I would expect it to be. You know, I don't see why it wouldn't be. Otherwise, it would.
Because screw you. That's more my.
Yeah.
That's just the fact. I was just like, oh, as we've got the board in our hands, we should have a.
Yeah. Okay.
Get in there, you miserable. Oh yeah, like because.
That goes up to the top.
Oh, that's there. Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's a CMOS battery. That's been messed with.
What's that? Oh, that's that. Yeah. Okay. I was going to say, grossly, it looks like a similar layout.
Yeah.
Certainly. Like, the connectors seem to be similar. So, yeah.
This CMOS battery looks like it's been removed before, so I'm guessing my friend has already checked this. It is stone dead, so that might be our problem as well. We could hotwire another battery into it, because this is just a CR 2016. We could probably, so we could probably bodge a CR 2032 into that. That might be our problem. We probably should have checked stuff like that beforehand, but...
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'm going to keep reassembling a little bit. Right, so we've got that on. Let's put the CPU cooler back on, because we don't want to run it. We don't want to run it bare.
The project is see if this laptop will function.
Yes, this
basically.
laptop doesn't. This laptop doesn't post, so we're.
This is a laptop from. Did we agree 2000?
The hard drive has got 2000 on it.
Yeah. But it's a different size to the one that is on the spec sheet, so it.
Yeah. However, also.
So it could be an OEM replacement.
Yeah, it's got foil on it as well, though. So like, I'd be surprised if that's not the original one. This might.
Well, sorry, I meant like it could have been a warranty replacement.
Oh, I suppose.
That's what I meant to say.
Yeah. Yeah, true. Let's see. I don't super care about thermal paste right now. We'll redo the thermal paste if we get it working.
Mom, I'm live. I'm on the interwebs.
Doing my friend's podcast.
I'm occasionally paying attention to chat. Hi, chat.
You were accused earlier on of hating chat, so...
I don't hate you, I just don't view you as important. Hate's a far too strong a word.
I was wondering where I was like, what's he going to say? Is he going to say, I just don't think you're people, or something like that, you know? What level are we going to now?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Is the deep doop doop the second number on the CRs is the thickness, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's 20 millimeters diameter. It must be diameter, and 16 mil will be 1.6 mil thick. So a CR 2032 is 20 millimeters diameter, 3.2 millimeters thick. So yeah.
We are the peons. Yeah.
Help, help, I'm being oppressed.
Look at the oppression inherent in the system.
One day I'll watch that movie.
Oh my goodness. That's what you say to me about most movies as well.
Yeah, real. Okay, right, focused. Okay.
Talking of focusing, Cider.
Oh! I didn't put the mezzanine back on. Okay, I think I can muscle it in.
I'm going to make use of my dainty appendages.
Chat's probably screaming at me. Heck.
Yes, this thing is approximately Y2K. Oh, we confirmed it's Y2K compatible. Maybe someone dropped a letter bomb through the letterbox. A letter bomb? A logic bomb through the letterbox, even.
I was going to say, what are you talking about?
Hold on a minute. I was trying to reference that one film with them hackers.
Swordfish. He used a logic bomb, dropped it through the trap door.
You know, same thing.
Because that's how you hack the FBI.
Nearly the same as passing Eva Shell.
Gosh, yeah.
I'm going to hack him through his mobile phone. It happens to be in the same room as his laptop.
Get me that phone. Ooh, okay. Right. That's on. Okay, we'll put on... I'm not going to put those massive standoffs in the back because they're a pain in the ass. Let's put one of these small ones in just to hold things in place. Right, my objective right now is to do enough reassembly that we can try and power the device on, and then we can start just process of elimination troubleshooting. Right, can I put anything in here to stop this from falling out? Not really, no. Okay, right, so the motherboard is in. We don't need the modem. We don't need any of the drives. Let's put the top chassis back on. Now, does the top chassis have any metal parts? Yeah, it does. So let's put this shield back over. And I'm going to put... I think that's the screw for the shield.
I don't like us either, so I don't see why Caradog should.
If you can't love yourselves, then how can you expect anyone else to love you?
Oh, interesting. Apparently, the FDC chip also handles I/O in general, including keyboard, the aforementioned watchdog timer, and RTC.
Oh, okay, yeah, that sounds about right.
That's cool.
Sorry, just these shortcut buttons have just... Feel those shortcut buttons. Yeah, see what I mean? You're like, what is that? It's a very strange... It's not a tactile dome. It doesn't have a snap to it.
It just has a mush.
Yeah, it almost feels like it's got a single rubber membrane dome in there. Like it's a self-contained rubber membrane switch. So yeah.
Yes.
Okay, right. You look like you're going somewhere.
Yeah, because I require a drink.
Understandable.
So, do you wish to have a cold rose?
Can do. Why? Well, I mean, we've only got one of those. Do you want to half it or something?
Not particularly.
You can have it if you want.
I was just going to get more water.
Oh, okay. Sure, I'll have it then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Carrot was like...
Because I asked the question of did you want cider and you didn't answer.
I see, yes. Sorry. my brain is very... I'm at maybe 50% today. Right, plug in the CPU fan.
Ooh, Ribena.
Right. That's lining up. So, all the buttons... That goes in there.
Oh, no.
That slots under at that end. I think it does. There. All right. And everything else there is display. and that's our slide switch for whatever that does. Okay. So, I think I've got enough that I'm going to try and power it on now. So what we're missing is drives and the display and the keyboard. I don't think we need that right now. Let's see if that's enough to make it do anything at all. Fine. Right.
Get the glue vine out. Oh God, you wouldn't even need to put it in a pan for it to be hot.
These laptops, the reasons people add extra screws left, yes. I'm already nudging things out of place as well. I'm keeping things roughly aligned. This isn't terrible. There's not that many variations of the screw type, so it is bearable. Keyboard's not needed. Okay, RTC battery could be necessary, yeah. All right, I'm going to try it without the RTC. This thing is stone dead anyway, so I'm going to try it without that. Then we'll plug in another RTC battery in and see if see how that changes it. So yeah, good. Okay, right. Let's keep things going. The mind haze is real. Yeah, make no mistake. Right, here we go. Ooh.
I made an unfortunate discovery.
Yarg.
Do you know what the other cider in the fridge is?
It goes against the grain. We should just bin those. I should just pour those down the sink. We're never going to drink them. Unless Sai visits and we just pour that out for him and don't tell him what it is and just wait for his reaction.
Luckily Sai's not here today.
Should we make that when Sai comes to visit, because he's coming in the near future, if we do the podcast and we're just like, do you want a cider, Sai? We serve up the goes against the grain and just hand it to him without telling him what it is, and we just see if he's polite about it or whether he's just like, oh, no, what is this?
As long as we actually have a real cider.
Yeah.
It'd just be rude to be like, oh, well, tough.
Right. Okay, so it's doing exactly the same thing. There's a faint hissing sound coming from the speakers, just some white noise hiss. And when I push the power button, there's a blip as the device power cycles. The CPU fan is not spinning. My friend said that apparently if you leave it for long enough, it does start to warm up. And yeah, we've got CPU vCore because there's heat in the cooler block.
Is the CPU dead?
Don't know.
Like, does the power circuit work, but it's brain dead?
It could be, yeah.
Because you did that in a video, didn't you, with a laptop that had taken like 12 volts?
Yeah.
Where like everything worked,
but the
silicon was dead.
Yeah. Right, let's try giving it an RTC battery that works.
Yeah.
See, the thing is, again, my friend said that when he first got it, it did work, and then it just died. So I don't think it's going to be the RTC battery, because I don't see how that could cause these symptoms.
Yeah.
Would at least expect the fan to spin. Same. Also, we've got a date stamp here, 2007-10.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And this is...
ink.
Yeah, we can decode for which way round it is. Let's see. One of these is sun and the other is moon. Oh, wait. Well, one of them is moon and one of them is day. Chat, what do you reckon? Which way around it is? Either way. So it's, but yeah, 2000, and then it's either July or October. Anyway. Okay. Yeah, let's get some power into the RTC. I don't feel like that's going to do anything.
Why is the fan not spinning?
Don't know. This feels like a secondary rail that isn't coming up to me. But again, the problem is I don't know how to diagnose that.
Yeah.
Our suspicious capacitor is under there.
Yeah.
Can I run this? I'm wondering if I can run this out of the chassis, where I can stab the board more effectively.
Because we've got easy access, what happens if you run it without RAM? Like,
Sure.
does it do something different?
Yeah, sure.
Because it should error, shouldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Like,
And if it doesn't error, we know it's not even getting to that point.
Yeah, if the behavior changes, then we're onto something, or we have more information. So yeah.
Oh, it's still flashing.
Yeah, faint hiss from the speakers.
No.
Same thing. Yeah. I'm going to stab some capacitors and just see what we can get to. Random capacitor on the motherboard is at 2.4 volts. Okay then. That doesn't tell me anything because I don't know what it's supposed to be at, but whatever. Do we have access? Can we see anything from here if I carefully flip it over? Yeah, we can check vCore and just see that that is what we're expecting it to be. vCore is at 1.49.
Yeah.
Which is what we're expecting it to
Roughly.
be.
Yeah, so we're expecting 1.6, I think. So it might be low, but it's still there.
Okay. Yeah, okay, how about that RTC battery? Right, what kind of connector is this? I might have something for that. It looks like the same JST that they use on modern stuff still. Nope, wrong size.
Denied.
Okay, I need to do some butchery, I think.
Dumb question,
Yeg.
but good point from chat. Is the charger, like, correct?
Good question. So the laptop says 18.5 volt, 2.7 amps. This is going to be a 19.5 volt charger.
18.5.
Oh, okay, it's 18.5, is it?
18.5, 3.5 amp.
Oh yeah. Nope, charger's good then.
That's fine.
Yeah, I expected it to be a 19
Is
and a
the
half.
charger good?
Oh, I see. Yeah. Yeah? Let me have a rummage. I might have one of these.
Yeah.
Because yeah, this is an old Compaq connector. It was used on stuff certainly into, well, not the modern era, but relevant.
Yeah.
Let's see, where is my box of ancient chargers?
Oh yeah. I guess you could hook up to the bench power supply.
Yes.
Ah, it's Psy. No, you're an e-waster.
Yeah, bench power supply is possible. I can't see my box of ancient chargers right now. Bench power supply is 100% possible. Let's do that. I don't think that's going to work.
No.
I'm going to carry on with the RTC battery first. Then we'll try it on the bench power supply because I can quickly try that. As I say, I don't think it's going to work, but it doesn't cost anything to try because we can. I've got the wiring for that. So yeah. Right, I'm going to butcher in another RTC battery first. Let's see. I could just break. I could do a mega crime. A mega crime involves damaging the original cell, but this one's dead, so like, who cares? What's this? That's dead. Rubbish. Just going through a couple of batteries I've got sitting on the counter here. 3 volts, that's good enough. Well, if we're being anal about it. Can I have something that's at like 3.1 here? Yeah, 3.14, you'll do. Going to call that dead as well. Right, I'm going to quickly go over here and do crimes, and by crimes I mean I'm going to solder wires directly onto this.
It's fine. Is the polarity of the charger okay?
Yeah.
I imagine so, because we get anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that has to be.
That's centre positive.
Yeah, I cannot see a world where it would be doing anything at all if it was being reverse polarized. Like,
Yeah.
we've got power LEDs and stuff like that coming on.
Yeah.
There's no world where it's that. Okay. And the other side. There we go. Just out of interest, how much have I just damaged that cell by soldering directly to it? Yeah, it's fine. All right. Where do you plug in then? There. That goes in like that. Okay.
This is a friend's 2000 laptop.
Yes. Yep, friend that I was visiting up in Manchester a couple of weeks ago had it. Same person who had the Sony Vitas.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
Which incidentally all work now. The one that I did the Type-C conversion on, that was a roaring success, and the red one that had the dodgy headphone jack, he had actually already put a new headphone jack in. He just failed to solder it. So me touching up the joins was enough to finish the job.
Cool.
I couldn't get it to turn on. I was like, oh, it seems dead, Jim. And then he had an actual proper Vita charger for it.
Yeah.
And on a proper Vita charger, it came back to life.
Oh, that's good.
So obviously there was just some kind of, it wanted to see an actual original charger or something.
Yeah.
And then it worked, and the headphone jack worked. So that was actually a happy ending. Okay, right. This has now got a working RTC battery. I'll just check the voltage on that, just in case that's gone to 0. For some reason.
Oh my goodness.
There we go, that's all good.
Guess what resolution the screen is?
Don't know. I'm going to guess 800 by 600. I mean, it could be
1400 by 1050.
1400 by 1050. Wow.
XXGA. Yeah. That's positively potty.
Wow. Yeah. Fair enough. Okay. Right. Keep going. Plug that in. Yeah, hissing from the speakers. Same deal. Yeah, okay, so it's not the RTC battery. Let's try a different power supply now. So I will grab my bag of random chargers.
Brightness 100 nits.
Surprised they're not measuring it in candle power.
Oh dear.
That looks about right. Then,
and in 2026 we still see panels with 768p panels. Yeah.
Absolutely disgusting.
The fact that getting a 1080p panel is, still a thing you have to double check.
Real.
It's just like, what is this nonsense?
Right, so to power this thing from a bench power supply, I'm going to use this setup I've got here. This cable harness I've got, this is Banana Jack to XT60, and then I've got an XT60 to DC jack, and then I can just stick adapters on that for whatever I need. So the only thing I need to do is I need to triple check my polarity, because I have no idea what polarity this ends up being. So yeah. Did we decide it was positive center pin?
That's what this charger is, yes.
Yeah.
I couldn't see in the manual what polarity it said it was.
Yeah, it doesn't specify. However, again, the fact that we've got like LEDs coming on and stuff like that means that the polarity must be correct. There's no like if the polarity is the wrong way, nothing is going to light up. You just explode things. So yeah, reverse polarity kills things. So yeah, right. So let's just check what this ends up being. So I will go continuity, and I will go positive pin to positive center pin. Yes. And if I go to the outer pin, we get nothing. Except like mega ohms, so yeah. Cool, so this is set up for positive center pin. So I did set it up with an ounce of sanity in my brain. So I will go and turn on the bench power supply, and I will plumb 18.5 volts at 3 amps into this and see what it does. What are you smug anime laughing at?
Oh my goodness. There's a display configuration you can get. A 12.1 inch SVGA STN display that has a contrast ratio of 40:1 and a brightness of 90 nits and is 800 by 600. Oh my goodness.
18.5.
Oh.
At 3 amps. Alright. Power on. Okay, it is pulling 22 watts, 1.1 amps.
Huh.
And it does the same thing. So yeah, no change, but also we have got a bit more information here because it's pulling an amp. So it's doing something.
Yeah.
Like 20 watts is a lot. All right.
Oh.
Do you reckon I should just rip off that? No, that capacitor's not causing a short, so that can't be it.
Yeah.
It's not the display assembly because that's unplugged at the moment. It's not the RAM because there's no RAM in it. Let's see. We had vCore. All right, I'm going to see if I can run it bare motherboard where I can probe more points of it while it's turned on. I feel like we're coming to the end of the line here just simply because I don't know enough about this system to go much further, and I'm not invested enough to learn. Can I take that out with the CPU cooler on? I might be able to. Let's have a go. Oh yeah, I put one of the standoffs back on the back.
I guess as well, as
Thermal
someone
cam.
said, thermal camera.
That's a good shout. That's a very good shout. Especially, if we can get it running bare motherboard, that might tell us a lot. I think we're going to see just 20 watts going into the CPU, and that's just not really going to tell us anything. And
The CPU wasn't shorted, was it?
No.
Sorry, the CPU itself wasn't shorted, was it?
No.
Yeah.
We saw just we saw an expected amount of
Low resistance.
yeah.
What are you?
That's the power connector in the CD bay that was plugged in there. Okay, right. Let's put that back there. Right, what are we down to now? So we've got our motherboard with the CPU cooler on. So we can, in order to get any deeper, we could just hold the CPU cooler on. We have to put something on there because we've got vCore.
Yeah.
However, I can run it that way up and probe things on this side now, and we can probe around here. So
And also you can see this side with thermal camera.
yes.
And you can see the rest of the bottom half of the board with the thermal camera.
And have we got the front LEDs? We have. Those are the front LEDs. So yes, okay. We have more access here. So let's run it again and see how we go. Okay. So
I keep thinking the composite connector is the power connector.
right, so we've got the flashing lights.
They're blinking lights.
So I'm going to turn it over. I think the flashing power LED is indicating an error state. So I think if we got to the point where we were getting somewhere, the power LED would be solid on, or it would just actually be solid off.
Yeah.
vCore not expected to be on until power button press. Yeah, I think that itself is also information. The fact that it just starts giving us this flashing power light the moment you plug it in. Okay, so going to start probing some random stuff. So yeah, vCore's at 1.49. What is this, whatever it is? That's at 18.2, so that's our main rail. Well, sorry, that's our DC in. And oh yeah, that's going through something, and then it's going through a current sense resistor. 1.5 volts on a capacitor there. Right, coming down to our dodgy looking capacitor. That's at 12.1 volts. Then I'll just check these other caps nearby. 5 volts. Okay, so this might be a 12 down to 5 volt regulator for the hard drive. And we've got a 3 volt rail there as well. Okay, we've got a 12, a 5 and a 3 volt rail that are present and correct. So as bad as this capacitor looks, we've kind of no reason to believe that it's causing a problem. Alright, thermal cam. Let's see if we spot anything. I think all we're going to see is just a very hot CPU, because that's what we're seeing right now, is a very hot CPU. I wonder if the CPU fan is dead and it just overheated.
Maybe.
Yeah. Okay, right. Thermal camera get, stand by.
LED board.
Right. Manually spin the fan with a PSU, could do. Right. Okay, can you show me the preview a sec, just so I can see what people are looking at? Yeah, just so I can just check if people can see. Right, so here's what we've got. We've got our CPU, unsurprising. So we've got our CPU, then we've got just a lot of residual stuff under there. That's main power in, so there's just lots of voltage there. Coming back down the board, that's the vCore mezzanine. and then there's a hotspot under there that's on the other side of the board. That's one of the big chips. I think that's the Northbridge chipset on the other side there. Then we've got another heat signature on the other side of the board here. And then moving down, we've got a big flare up here. Again, that's something on the other side of the board. So I'll flip the board over.
That's at 45 degrees.
Yeah, through the board. So, yeah. Right, so...
Oh, that's at 75 degrees.
Yeah, so... Ow, yes, that is burning my finger. So yeah, that's our Northbridge. That's a very spicy boy. Then that guy's... God, just everything on here is just very hot. Kind of interesting that you can see the dye under the top cap on this view. Then that guy's
oh my God, that's a 94?
That's a very spicy boy.
That's at 95.
Yeah.
Do not.
Yeah, extremely spicy boy there. The problem is I've got no clue what temperature these things generally run at, so your guess is as good as mine. Inductor down here, also very hot. Not quite as hot as the other things. Wow. Wow, we can get really detailed on that. It's not coming through here, but you can almost see the lines on that. That's incredible. Yeah, okay. Yeah, lots of hot stuff here. However, I don't know how much any of this tells us, except just everything is hot. So, yeah. Borderline normal, apparently. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't. Just to me, it seems odd that standard operating would be at nearly 100 Celsius.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. For old stuff, I kind of want to know if that CPU fan works, because if the CPU fan doesn't work, then I think I'm going to say CPU overheated.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of as good a guess as we can make at this point. I'm out of my depth. We've gathered this much information, but I don't know what to make of any of it. Like I said to my friend, I said, look, this is vintage. I don't know vintage, but I'll have a look. I'll take it apart, because maybe we find something that's exploded. Maybe we find a capacitor that's exploded. It never hurts to look.
That almost sounded like a threat. Maybe we find a capacitor that's exploded.
Maybe we find someone else is at fault here, Maybe we find it's your fault. It's up to you,
But I think it's also the fact of just it's turning on and getting hot, or at least it's drawing so much power instantly.
Yeah.
To me says something is shorted.
I don't think it's a short. Yeah, because everything is powering up. This is one of the reasons why I would say dead CPU, because the CPU is the last thing to come on, and we're seeing that everything is powered up, but it seems to be brain dead, and it's flashing its power light saying, and that to me sounds like everything is powered up, and the board is now like, all right, CPU, turn on and take control. And then nothing happens because the CPU's dead.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, yes, see if the coils are okay. What measurements would we expect to see? Because I don't know how you measure inductors. Not zero. Well, now you're just looking for a short to ground. We don't have a short. Yeah. So yeah. Or do you mean what's the resistance through the coils? Because again, that's going to be zero. Yeah. Don't we? No, we don't have a short to ground. Because everything is powering up and getting hot. If we had a shorted power rail, we measured 12, 5, and 3 volts down here. So we've seen all three major rails that are present and correct. We have VCore at the expected voltage. If there was a short somewhere in the laptop, we wouldn't be seeing those things. So one of those rails would be missing.
It is a silicon issue.
Yeah.
Would be kind of
I think silicon
my
issue.
assumption there. Like
I'm
the
going to go and
North
quickly
Bridge
stab
or
this.
the I/O chip or something.
Yeah, I'm going to stab the CPU fan with the power supply and see if it spins, because I think that's going to answer our question, or it might do at least anyway.
Yeah.
Because if the CPU fan is dead, then we can say, okay, the CPU fan overheated, mystery solved. That's what I'm going with. Right, I'll just steal my probes for this. And do you want to come off of bench cam? I'll just quickly carry the bench cam over there, just so.
Face cam.
All right, I'm going to pick this up.
I'm going to rotate this camera.
I'm going to helicopter this camera around to unwind the cable. And will the cable reach? I think it'll come far enough that you can just pitch it up and just peer over at the desk. If you want to just have a look at that on preview.
That one. That one. Oh. Never mind. Still counts as being used.
Yeah.
Studio. Bench cam. I have an excellent view of your microscope mount.
Outstanding.
Oh, wrong way. That's me. Where's Graham? There we go. Zoom.
Prop this up so I can. So I'm going to do something like that. Yeah. Right. I'm guessing that red equals power and blue equals ground.
Transition. Pow.
Cool. That'll do. Yep. So power supply. Hang on a sec. This fan says 5 volt, 0.2 amps. So I'm just changing my power supply down to 5 volts. And I will set it to half an amp of maximum current. Actually, that's way too 100 milliamps. Yeah.
Why is my fan drawing 15 amps?
Okay, power supply on. Okay, so now if I stab there and there.
Oh, it's moving.
Yeah, there we go. All right, CPU fan works.
Whee!
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Well, that's that. That scuppers the fan died theory. So, yeah, it ain't the CPU fan. I don't know. I think I'm out of ideas.
Yeah.
So I think what I'll do is we'll reassemble it just to get it all back together again. And I'll say to my friend, no idea, Chief. I think the CPU is dead, but couldn't prove it. There's another motherboard on eBay if you want to try and save it.
Oh.
And yeah, I think that's about all I got for this thing. So I will put it back together again.
There we go. That'll be about right.
Ah, man. Yeah, that CPU fan theory would have been a good one. Although that doesn't, maybe the output to the CPU fan doesn't work. Who knows? Okay, I'm going to put it back together again. Right.
That's a shame.
Yeah. Like, I didn't have high hopes for this, but I was hoping to at least find something, just so we, even if we couldn't fix it, something where we could say, okay, at least we know what happened to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's a swing and a miss for me. So, unfortunate.
But also, in a way, you narrowed it down to it definitely being this board. So if they do get the replacement board on eBay,
Yeah.
it's likely to resolve
Yes,
the
that
issue.
that is true. Yeah.
So you've at least narrowed it down to that board.
Can't get in there. There we go.
What goes in there?
PCMCIA.
Oh, okay. I was like, why do you get to be on the main board, but everything else is connected?
What is going on with you? Oh my god. Okay, there we go. Need to work all this in. Yeah. There we go. All right.
You are now fitted.
Time for reassembly.
Here come all the people in the chat being like, oh, this is older than me. I'm like, okay,
Oh.
okay.
I used to be with it, and then they changed what it was, and what I was with wasn't it anymore. And what was it seems strange and weird. It'll happen to you.
I was saying that to someone the other day when they were calling me Unk. I was like, okay. I was like, okay.
And I just learned what based means, you know. And apparently that's not cool. Apparently based is cringe now, so, you know.
I was like, okay, at least I wasn't born in 2006. Child.
It's already happening, help. Okay. Right. Shields.
Shields up.
That's slotted into that. Groovy. That doesn't go in there. That doesn't go in there.
So you say that bass is now cringe. Does that mean now that these days you are debased?
I'm not answering this.
Or is that just stuff for activities?
I don't know how to escape that situation.
Yes, Dee, you look lovely.
Terracotta. Right. There was something else that I was like, oh, if the laptop is a bust, I'll do this instead, and I've completely forgotten what that is.
Was it talking about the LGA 1700 PC?
Oh yeah, yeah, we
HP.
could do that. Yeah. I've got a HP laptop here, where the motherboard,
Mini PC.
Yeah,
Not a laptop.
a small form factor, and the motherboard and CPU are dead. And I was just like, oh, let's have a look and see what options we've got to try and rebuild this. Not sure what to do about this. Yeah, okay. Let's try and cut this down a little bit. I'll leave my butchered CMOS battery in there because that works, you know.
I guess it means it can go on the new one if he gets a new board.
Yeah, I guess. Although, right, hang on. Have I just torn into that? I should probably put some Kapton tape on this instead of masking tape. I don't think it'll actually fit in there, though. I think it's too big. Hang on a sec. I'm going to turn this around so I can see it better. Oh, come on. I must be able to cram that in there. Oh, that's going to foul the thing. No, that's not going to work.
That's unfortunate.
Oh. Okay. I'll leave the connector there. guess I could resolder the wires to the old battery just to put the original in there, but like that battery was like stone dead, nothing in it. So right, what goes... There's a little bit of space under there. Can I fit that in under there? No, it's just too big.
Most
That's it.
unfortunate.
I'll put some caps and tape on it just so it's a bit slimmer, because masking tape does add bulk and doesn't scrape past things very easily. So yeah, I might be able to cram this in there, and then at least it's got a working CMOS battery.
Oh dear.
Put that there.
Yeah.
Why are you putting it back together again? So there's the main reason is that we don't know what's happening to it next, and in my experience, it's a really bad idea to leave things fully disassembled when their fate is unknown. If we were ordering parts and we knew that parts were going to arrive on like Tuesday or Wednesday, I would leave it in bits. But this thing's fate is unknown, and it might sit around for the next month or two minimum. And in the meantime, the chances of parts going missing or you forgetting how it goes together or just something like that gets higher every day, and you just end up with this pile of bits which no one has any idea how to reassemble. So my policy is to put things back together again. It's also just because non-zero chance that he's just like, oh, that's fine, just send it back as it is, and I'll put it in a cupboard, you know. So yeah, just my experience has taught me to reassemble, even though that's a waste of everyone's time. Reassemble it is my advice.
Oh my god, yeah.
Okay. I think that's roughly in place now.
It's also just the RAM slot says 3.3 volts.
Yeah. Mega power to the RAM. I think RAM is actually a pretty large power draw on old devices, because like low voltage RAM is a pretty big deal for power saving in laptops, I believe. Okay, so that's the top bit. Yes, we've got some screws to go into here now. Whoop. And Sai says, I also do. It makes it okay when the customer just randomly turns up for it. Yeah, that as well. That's not going to happen here, but I do it as a policy just because sometimes the customer will just... You'll call them and you'll leave a message saying, yeah, we couldn't fix it. Please let us know what you want to do next, kind of thing. And then the customer will show up like later on that afternoon, say, okay, can I have it back, please? And you've got just a pile of bits on the end of your counter, and you're like, well, this is awkward. And they're like, what have you done to it? And you're like, well, I took it apart. That's what you have to do when you're diagnosing it. But it never looks, it's not a good look. Even though it's like justified, it's not a good look. And also, like, sometimes you'll get a customer who will be really upset that you couldn't fix their computer, and they'll be like, well, I wanted to put it back together again. And you have a very tense situation of you trying to professionally and carefully reassemble this laptop as fast as you can while the customer is staring daggers at you from across the room. And it's just like, ugh. So, yeah.
Yeah.
That's an extreme case, but I've been in that situation more than once. And so, yeah, I just put it back together again now. Wow, these things are awful. I think there's no faster way of doing this.
I need to drive massive nuts.
Riveting content.
This isn't riveting, it's screwing.
I'm reminded of very recently. I think someone left a comment where I was talking about like the size of a nut in a computer, and they're like, actually, it's a fastener. I'm like, yeah, technically it is.
I mean,
You can call it a fastener if you want.
I mean, it's not very fast.
Lamau. Oh, that would have been a great response. Yeah.
I mean, sure, but it's not making it any quicker.
Yeah, that would have been the perfect response to that. Yeah. God, I don't think I would. I don't. Even if I had some spanners in the shop, I don't think you'd be able to fit a spanner into here to remove this. All right, that's good enough. It ain't gonna fall out. Let's put in some of these supporting screws. Right.
Oh yeah, socket, I guess.
Yeah, well, I mean that's the thing. I've got a small socket driver for regular size standoffs. That's a hex driver, but I don't have one for that size because who the hell has a socket driver for that size? In before like half the people in the chat are like, I do. And I'm like, all right, how often do you use that then? And they're like, I work on vintage stuff. We use it quite often. It's pretty common size actually. Whatever. Leave me alone.
Hold on.
Oh, that's fine. There's still time to put that in. Yep. Good shout, though. Good shout.
It goes the other way around. The ports are accessible from the outside.
I'm going to make you accessible from the outside in a minute.
Oh, baby. Those were from the...
there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Queue longer than 12 months. That sounds like Graham.
Oh, my queue's pretty good at the moment. I'm currently in that stage where I'm in that slightly worried point where my queue has been reasonably okay for the past month or so, and I'm like, I don't know if that's because I'm up to date or whether just the workload has just fallen off a cliff. Because I don't feel like I'm working particularly fast either, but I have no idea.
I mean, it gives you time to do other things.
Yes.
Like the pile of crimes on the corner of the desks.
Listen, all right? Okay? Oh! Where do you plug in? You plug in when this is not on. Okay, that's fine. I have only put in a couple of screws. Yep, okay, that's fine. I left a bit of wire out. I think I just need to take off these ones and the top part will come off again. And then I can put that wire in.
If you're not working fast, it means you're not using fasteners.
So has anyone got any tech news at the moment? What's the tech news right now?
NVIDIA control panel is dead.
Yeah. I haven't. Have you used the NVIDIA app?
No. I haven't had an NVIDIA graphics card in.
Oh, yeah. AMD Master Race. Yeah, fair enough. Okay.
Last time I had an NVIDIA... Well, no, actually, it was the 4090, so never mind.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was going to say, because I've got a 4080, so this does affect me. But...
Only in as much as you should have stopped using the control panel, like, 12 months ago anyway.
Yeah, this has been a long time coming.
Yeah.
I do... but then I barely use the control panel, because the only time I ever went into the control panel was usually just to set a global frame rate limiter. But the vast majority of games, I think I just set global adaptive VSync now in NVIDIA control panel. I think that's the only thing I actually do, and that's about it. So yeah, I need to have a look. Apparently the NVIDIA app is fine. You know, like
Yeah,
it's not
good.
Yeah, it's this. We're not talking about GeForce Experience here. So I need to look at that, because apparently it's totally fine. So yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see the latest 3-hour Gamers Nexus video about computer stuff? Absolutely not.
No, because
What was
it's a
it?
Gamers Nexus video.
Yeah, what was it actually about, and did it actually have any productive conclusions? Because I'm not going to lie, talking brutally honestly, Gamers Nexus seems to be mostly just complaining now. And like, I know that's in a way what they've always been, because like, you know, reviews, critics, etc., but most of even when they're doing quote unquote investigative stuff, they seem to just complain about things, and like they'll say blah blah this and this. I'm like, yeah, we know. So like, what's the cause? What do we do about this? So what? And they don't really have answers to that. They just tell. Every time I watch a Gamers Nexus video, it seems to just be telling me stuff that I already know, and I'm like, yeah, we know this. That's in the title. What do we do about it?
Yeah.
You know. So I haven't unsubscribed quite yet, but I haven't actually watched any of their content in a hot minute, because every time I do, I get through the video and I'm like, well, that was a load of waste of time. Yeah. This is just Steve venting now. And I don't disagree with him most of the time, but like, he's just complaining, you know. So yeah. So anyway, what was the video about?
But I think the video was about the other companies that are affected by the part shortage on the RAM and SSD side.
Oh, okay. Well, like
case manufacturers.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Because obviously fewer people are building gaming computers, so fewer gaming cases are being sold.
Yes, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a call from a local components supplier this week, who was just like, "Hi, I'm calling you from supplier company. Are you interested in buying the parts from us?" And I said, honestly, no, because I'm not building computers right now, because the price, as I'm sure you know, the prices suck. So I'm just not building right now. So no, I'm not interested in buying parts. Sorry, Chief. And yeah, he was just like, yeah, okay, not surprised. I mean, obviously, you've been hearing that a lot, kind of thing.
Yeah.
That battery's still not going to fit, I don't think.
GN should do a much shorter edit of their stuff. It gets to the point with fewer words. Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
But it's also the case of it feels like almost all of their videos could be cut down to 120 seconds short.
Probably, yeah.
I'm angry!
Yeah.
End video.
Yeah. And again, just to reiterate, you know, he's not wrong and he's right to be angry, but he's not proposing any useful solutions, and more often than not, just doesn't really tell you anything you don't already know. Yeah. Like possibly there's some interesting parts to say, oh, you know, we've spoken to so-and-so and seen how this is affecting other industries, as other component supply lines as well. It's having a knock-on effect. It's like, cool, but that's not 3 hours of content as such. Like for me, this started with with their illegal GPUs in China deep dive video, which was supposed to be like a really big deal for them, and in my opinion, just didn't really tell me much at all. Like they went and they showed, and they were just like, yeah, look, there's people in China that still have GPUs, and there's people who are fixing GPUs.
It's like, no, really?
And they, you know, and they said how a lot of these GPUs come in from single people, but like they didn't go and talk to any of those people who were the mules bringing them in or anything. And the number of people they spoke to had like 20 GPUs in a rack kind of thing. And I'm like, this is nothing, you know. Like this isn't. This is not. You're telling me that this is a big deal, but you're not showing me a big deal here, kind of thing. And I think that's the point where because I watched the entire video, and I felt like, again, that could have been a 15-minute video. You could have presented that information in a lot less. Blair, don't know. So yes, I don't really want to sit and just rag on Gamers Nexus, but yeah, I don't know. I'm saying this just because I'm criticizing because I want to get to the bottom of this and think, what is my problem with this and what do I want instead,
I think step one is shorter videos.
Yeah.
Take that 3-hour video and give me a 15-minute version of it.
Yeah, turning it into a 3-hour-long feature-length film doesn't make it more informative. Have the
3-hour version, but make sure there's a 15-minute version that actually gives me a point and at least an attempt of a conclusion.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like I'm always kept when people say, "Oh, make it shorter." I'm like, is this me just having a short attention span? And it's just like in this case, no. Objectively, no. I think just the content is just far longer than it needs to be.
Yeah.
Something. This meeting could have been an email.
Yeah. The problem I have with GN is that they seem to completely miss nuance 87% of the time, unless it's a minutia that they want to argue.
Yeah.
Which seems very weird.
Those don't go in yet. Okay.
Also, I think the other thing that annoys me is the fact that they try and say that they're doing investigative journalism, but then don't actually have any qualifications in investigative journalism. And investigative journalism is a very specific, highly skilled niche of journalism.
Yeah, or at the very least, I feel like, the detail isn't there to classify it as such.
And also...
Because, going and talking to a couple of people isn't an investigation. Usually this involves, you've... again, taking the GPU black market trade video as an example. Again, they talk about black market trade and stuff. It's like, cool. Where is the black market? Can we see it? Did you find it? Did you go there? And it's like, no. They just went to a tech mall in China where they've got some where they've got some shops that sell GPUs and repair GPUs, and there were some items on the list that are technically supposed to be banned. It's like, okay, sure. This. I could have gone there and found that out. You did. Not really breaking any boundaries here, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So that's the issue, and that's okay. I haven't blown the lid off of that myself. I'm not saying I could do any better. I haven't made any trips to China, You're
also not calling yourself an investigative journalist.
Yes, basically that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think also the other thing that always just bemuses me is how they seem to complain about the state of, for example, the GPU market. But then the last 4 AMD graphics card reviews I watched of theirs, they basically just called AMD GPUs a waste of sand.
Yeah.
And it's just okay.
Yeah, and this is the problem with a lot of criticism is they are comparing against what they want the market to be and what we demand from the market, and that is all well and good, but it doesn't work. It's fair to say, it's kind of it's all very well to say we want graphics cards to cost this much. So when you review a graphics card and the price isn't what you wanted it to be, then you can be like, okay, we kind of wanted this to cost $100 less than what they've put it out at. However, you can't buy anything else that offers this level of performance for the same amount of money that they're asking for.
Yeah.
So we want it to be cheaper, but the reality is that no one else is offering a cheaper equivalent product. Therefore, the price point is market correct. I want it to be cheaper. We would love you to make this cheaper, AMD, and drive the prices down.
Yeah.
But so they're basically and this is also flagging, like, something I see a lot is people. I had this conversation the other day. It was when I was doing the review video for the mini PC the other night. We were talking about the cost of PCs, and someone was just like, "Oh, I think the sweet spot for PCs was around the mid 2010s or something like that." And I said, actually, I disagree. Because when I built my LAN PC that I tested the B580 in, at the time, I can't remember the exact breakdown, but that computer was approximately £700. And it had a 60 class graphics card in that costs about £250. It had a 6-core 12-thread CPU, 32 gigs of RAM, and a case that lights up for £700. That's pretty good. Like, if you say to ourselves, okay, if you think graphics cards are too expensive, when were they not expensive? What, the GTX 900 series? Because the 20 series, everyone agrees, was very expensive. So let's go back to the 900 series then. And a GTX 960 was about £200 to £300, depending on which version of it you bought. For a 60 class graphics card.
I think the other thing that has partially been missed in the conversation is the wider economic question of purchasing power.
Yes, yeah.
And
before we slide into that, just to quickly finish my thought there, because I'm saying, so 60 class graphics cards are about the price that they were before everyone believes it melted down. Now, mid-range cards are still reasonably expensive. The high end is ludicrously expensive. I'll concede that point. But the mid-range was basically fine in November, and it was only the current shortage that we've gone into. The market had corrected itself, in my opinion, and you could buy a decent, you could buy a modest gaming PC for a modest amount of money that was about what we expected to spend. So however, buying power.
I think that was just kind of going to be my point. It's just the fact of, obviously, yes, you could buy the 60 class card for £200, but it was also kind of a case of what else could you buy for £200 today versus 2016, and it was just, I think just kind of that difference in that. That difference in that purchasing power is kind of, I think, part of the reason why people are like, oh, graphics cards are too expensive, is because everything else has gone up. So the percentage, so the amount they have available to them to spend on anything is different.
Yeah.
And they don't want to effectively admit the fact that, like, their purchasing power has waned. And also, I think there has been a little bit of what's good, like what's necessary creep in an awful lot of people. And an awful lot of people will look at like 5080s, 5090s and say, because that's more than £1,000, everything is bad.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Because the high end is expensive.
Yeah.
Everything is bad, kind of thing. And it's to a degree, it's a fact of, well, actually, if you looked at it 6 years ago, most people weren't buying 90 class cards or 80 class cards.
Yeah. Oh, that's not in alignment. Yes, and I think
it's still the case that we should be judging it by whether the 60 and 70 class card of the generation is sufficiently performant for the games of that generation, but also is sufficiently purchasable.
Yeah, and like I think a lot of people are vulnerable to this as well, because I have become accustomed to having a fast graphics card, and something that I've really enjoyed doing is one of the reasons why I really enjoyed the B580 review was just how competent that graphics card was. And like I did this again when I went to visit my friend. I took a 3060 12 gig with me and was playing VR chat on it, which is a tall order, and it was fine. And you know, it was just, I have greatly enjoyed using those graphics cards and being like, these things are fine. Like, sure, you can get that battery just doesn't fit. I'm just going to leave it out. Yeah. It jams up the switch. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I'll leave it out. I'm going to leave that taped to the top.
This isn't sitting down.
Yeah, I'll clip that all in now. There we go. Yes. Yeah, I really enjoyed using lesser graphics cards. And like, yeah, absolutely. Don't get me wrong. I like my 4080 and I will, you know, I'll get the best graphics card I can. But I have enjoyed seeing that lower end graphics cards are perfectly cromulent. You know, they do work.
Yeah.
You don't get a massively diminished user experience, at least for the most part. And certainly,
yeah, it's like we're in a way better position now for what the minimum level of performance is to what we were 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Sort of thing, where like you looked at the minimum graphics card like an GTX 550 compared to like the 580. And it was just kind of like the 550 was barely functioning as a 3D accelerator card.
Yeah.
You know, you were like, I'm getting 30 FPS with wildly fluctuating frame rates.
Yeah.
Whereas these days it's a case of everyone's just kind of like, it's only doing 59.
Yeah. And
it's kind of, obviously we should expect and want better.
Yes.
Everything should get better, but it's the case of like, that's now a situation that's actually possible for people to be in and be like, no, I want my graphics card to give me 60 FPS. So yeah, but it's also just kind of a case of, yeah, like there are competent graphics cards out there. It's just a case of it just seems the bottom price has shifted up a bit too much.
Yeah.
So like you can't get cheap stuff.
Yeg. All right, I'm going to quickly skim through the chats. Yeah, market was going in a good direction second and third quarter of last year. I agree. I think we were in a really good space back then. Still holding on to it? Yeah, I've still got graphics cards. I mean, I'm not selling PCs right now. I've got no RAM, got no RAM, got no SSDs, and I don't really want to buy them at the current prices. So yeah, I've got zero interest in. I'm just sitting on my graphics cards right now. I don't think they're going to go down in value anytime soon. So yeah, I think we're kind of fine at the moment. There's rumors of a 9070 GRE or something. I think new graphics cards. I think AMD and Nvidia have new stuff ready to go, and I believe that they're just not releasing it because why would you release anything right now? You know, so I think there is new stuff imminent, but yeah, I just think they just don't have a reason to release any of it.
Yeah.
GTX 1660 still does the trick. Well, see, on any normal day. See, it depends on what you need. On a normal day, I'd be like, no, it doesn't. And I think you could get something that is a transformative experience for not a huge amount of money from that. However, also though, having just done a review of a mini PC that is using an iGPU that is approximately the equivalent of a 1060, which itself is approximately the equivalent of a 1660. Yeah, you can 100% play games on a 1660. I don't think you should buy a 1660.
Don't forget though, your iGPU had in theory up to 32 gigs of VRAM.
Yes.
And the 1660 has 6 gigs of VRAM.
Yeah.
So the VRAM is going to be killing it way more than actual
Yeah.
core performance.
And also, my iGPU is in a box that is that big, not
Yeah.
a honking great gaming PC where you
Yeah.
could have something substantially more powerful.
Yeah.
So, like, I think it's a gross simplification to be like, I gamed on something of similar power to that, and it worked.
Yeah.
Again, we can still want more. I don't think you should buy 1660s. However,
Yeah,
it
because-
does go to show that, like low budget video gaming is possible. I do agree with this.
So it's kind of a case of if you wanted to, you could buy a 6700 XT and gain 100% performance. You would double your performance.
Yeah, and a 6700 XT is probably about 300 quid right now.
Yeah.
No, sorry, less than that. Should be about 250 for
Yeah.
a 6700 XT. And
Or
that's
you-
high as well. At some point, I mean, I would get a 3060 12 gig for about £200.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah.
I
Still-
was just going straight for what is double performance. Yeah.
Yeah.
A 3060 12 gig still gives you 66% more performance
Yeah.
and double the VRAM, which makes it pretty good. Because, yeah, going up to a 3060 12 gig gives you double the VRAM. Doesn't change the fact there's not much point from switching from a 3090. But they didn't have a 3090, it had a 1660.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I think we're missing points there.
Yeah. No, someone's crossed wires there because, like, the 3090 is fine,
Yeah.
Yeah, laptop is kill. Do you want to switch back to Facecam? Because I'm
Oh, I thought I
staring
did.
at the desk now.
Whoops, I thought I did.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah, laptop is kill. Certainly I don't. It's beyond me at any rate. I hope that was mildly interesting to look at. But
Oh my
no, I'm out of my
God.
depth on that one, I'm afraid.
An RX 9070 non-XT
Yeah.
is 12% faster than the 3090.
Yeah, the 3090s.
Whoa!
The 3090 is one of the. There's a couple of 30 series cards that are going to hold the line for a while, and
Yeah.
I think that's the 3060 12 gig because 12 gig.
Yeah.
And the 3090 because
Yeah.
it was a Halo.
And the 3090 Ti, the 3090, the 3080 Ti, because they actually have enough VRAM.
Yeah. And again, I don't think I would recommend buying
And the
those
38
cards today.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't buy a 3090 24 gig today
Yeah.
because I don't know, man. It's a big, hot, expensive card.
Yeah.
I think there's probably better. I would rather spend probably a similar amount of money on like a 9060 XT or something like that, which is going to have less VRAM, but
Yeah.
probably give you about the same performance and much more. Just it's a current generation card, you know. However, if you have a 3090, you can sit on that bad boy for quite a few more years, I
Yeah,
think.
because it's got enough VRAM, and also it supports DLSS, so you can run DLSS
Yeah.
4 on stuff. You can run that on ultra performance, and it won't look awful.
9060 XT is way slower. Check it up again.
Yeah, I said 9070.
Oh yeah. No, sorry, my bad. I misread the chart. I thought I was looking at the 9060 there. Yeah.
Yeah, the 9060 is
9070 non-XT is
like
about
75%.
Yeah, 96. Well, okay. So the 9070 non-XT is about £500, I think.
I would guess.
And a 9070. A 9070 non-XT. Yeah, it's about £500. $518 on Amazon. You could probably find one for 500.
That feels like a really good deal.
Yeah. Then the 3090 second-hand price is going to be somewhere between 400 and 450 is my guess. So I would still spend a little bit extra and get a 9070 non-XT if you've got about 450 to 500 to spare.
Yeah, because some of them are selling it like 500-ish.
Yeah, those are really inflated. As other people have said in the chat, those are inflated because AI right now.
Oh yeah, but some of them are selling for that much.
Yes.
So it's a case of if you already own one, you could flip one for that much, and for £0
or negative money, just get a newer generation
get
card.
into a newer generation card.
Yeah.
But yes, you would drop your VRAM from 24 to 16.
Yes, and depending on what you're doing, depends on how much that'll
Yeah.
matter. So yeah, I would not Again, this is that thing where I have to keep reiterating it because a lot of people just don't seem to get this message. I'm not saying I'm not saying that the 3090 is bad. I'm saying I would not buy one today. I would buy something else. But if you have one, it's fine.
Oh no! If you have a working one, you can sell it for nearly £800.
Jesus, flip that bad boy.
Flip it. Buy basically anything current generation that's around the same price. Win. God, that's wild.
Yeah.
Unless you need 24 gigs of VRAM.
Yeah.
That's ultimately what it boils down to. If what you're doing actually demands more than 16 gigs of VRAM, sure, keep it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's kind of a case of flip it.
Yeah.
And save a little bit of power.
I'm sure people can buy these things to run a local AI thing that tells them the weather automatically or something.
Yeah.
So yes.
Yeah. Yeah, buying today isn't solely about today. You need it to still be good in a few years.
Already having
it is different because you've already had a few years on it.
Yeah.
It's like
same thing. This is why I keep saying this about the 1080 Ti. Yes, the 1080 Ti is the GOAT. It is an incredible graphics card. Should you buy one today? Hell no.
Yeah. Should you still keep one you already have?
Sure.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's fine. It's fine. If you have one, it's fine. But
if you wanted to, you could triple your performance, but also you don't need to.
Yeah. But, if you're buying a graphics card today, hell no, do not buy a 10 series card.
Yeah. And like the only 20 series card I'd consider buying is like the 2080 Ti.
Yeah.
Because that's the only one that has more than 8 gigs of VRAM.
Yeah, and even then,
then
20 series is just like, just age-wise, it's getting on now.
Yeah.
You shouldn't buy old hardware because you're buying something that already has just a lot of years on the clock. You can't beat the clock.
It's like, and it's kind of a case of the 3060 12 gig exists. Yeah.
All right. So speaking of upgrades,
how does I was about to say I want to double check. How does a 1080 Ti compare to a 3060 12 gig?
I think they trade blows. I think I seem to remember they trade blows, but the 3060 is obviously going to have much newer hardware support. It's going to have newer NVENC. It's going to have,
it's within 4%.
Yeah.
Oh my
Except
goodness.
With the 3060, you get newer DLSS and stuff like that.
You get DLSS.
Right. Can the 10 series not do DLSS at all?
It came in with the 20 series.
Oh yeah, and of course, no ray tracing either.
So you gain DLSS. You gain an extra gigabyte of VRAM.
And you've got RT cores. Yes, I know there's that thing that makes the 10 series run RTX, but not really. So yeah. That's the thing.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah, they trade blows, but the 3060 has a colossal generational feature ups.
Feature upgrades.
Yeah, a feature advantage. Yeah.
You also save like 50 to 60 watts off of the TDP.
Yeah.
Which sure is neither here nor there really, but it's just a case of additional nice bonus.
Yeah.
If you were looking to buy today because you had neither.
Yeah. RTX on 10 series sounds janky. Yeah, basically it was software RT. So and it was a tech demo. Basically,
it ran it somewhere between 1 and 1.5 frames per second.
That's right. And it was just like, okay, yes, technically they got ray tracing working on a 1080 Ti, but also no, this does not mean that you can run ray.
Yeah.
You couldn't do. It wasn't usable. It was a tech demo. You know?
I think it got some updates and stuff and got to running it between like 10 and 11 FPS.
This was more of an interesting tech demo that the people who made it probably did solely because it landed them a job somewhere. Not because it was actually usable in any meaningful way. So yeah. What's the timer on, just out of interest?
It is on 2:44.
Oh wow. Okay, yeah. I'm just going to sit and drink this cider then, if I'm honest.
But yes, I'm going to swap to browser with chat.
So I says, should I upgrade my GT210 to a GT710? I mean, first you need to actually play some games, Si. We need to turn you into a gamer.
Motherboards.
Because Si's not even a gamer. He's a fake gamer. I think I'll wait until 12 volt high power is phased out before I consider a new GPU. Don't know if that's going to happen anytime soon, but also AMD. Get yourself a 9070 XT, which is a cracking GPU and uses dual 8 pins. Some of them have got triple 8 pins. Yeah, the Asus one's got triple 8 pins, but it doesn't need triple 8 pins.
Yeah.
A lot of them are dual 8 pins.
Yeah. You've got
which is what I would want. I do not want a triple 8 pin, if I'm honest. Just because it's just obnoxious amounts of cabling.
Yeah, or you've got the... there is one that uses the 12 volt high power, and I can't remember which one that is.
Really? Interesting. Yeah.
It's the one with the magnetic removable back, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, but it's still just a case of...
Fair. Yeah.
Where is...
Yeah. And I would especially be wanting to go AMD at the moment, just simply because NVIDIA can do one. NVIDIA don't care about you, so why should you care about their products?
Oh, there.
And not implying that AMD love you or anything. They are also a corporation, but at least they're pretending to care about gamers.
Mostly. There you go. But yes.
Right, okay.
Motherboards.
I've got a 14400 here, i5 14400. I've got a 1TB SSD, and I've got a 16GB DDR5 RAM stick. So I've got approximately £1 million here. This has come out of this cheese. This has got a dead motherboard in it, or a dead power supply, but the power supply is proprietary to the motherboard, so it's basically the same thing. So this computer is kill, but the components all work. So I'm like, okay, so to the customer, I'm going to say, your computer is dead. Here's what we can do. Yeah. So what can we do? Can we find like a nice small form factor case that isn't awful, that would fit this stuff in it and make something that's approximately similar to this for a reasonable amount of money? Or am I going to just sell them an Optiplex? But the problem is the Optiplex is not going to have a 14400 in it. It's going to have a, like, I think I've got like the 11th Gen i5 Optiplexes in now. But still, I would like something that I can, if we can find something that will fit all their stuff in, we can make it stronger and better.
So you could have the Gigabyte B760ME micro.
Okay.
Which looks like that.
Yeah.
And you could have that for £78.
Cool.
Fine.
All right.
That doesn't seem entirely awful.
Yeah.
And then, cases.
Yeah. This is going to be the hard bit. We need a micro ATX case that's half height.
Oh, does it have to be half height?
I want it to be small form factor.
Right.
Oh, micro ATX slim, yeah.
I have selected micro ATX.
Yeah.
So you have, nope, you have one of them.
Colink, yeah.
For £19.
Yeah, we'll need to get a power supply for that, yeah.
Well, yeah, but just, you have one of them.
That Colink is going to feel really cheap and nasty. This is the problem.
It's £19.
I know. But the problem is the problem with trying to build a slimline computer like this is you often end up with brands like Colink, and they just feel so cheap and light and plastic. And I'm just like, can we have something that at least...
You could have a Fantex, one of them.
Yeah, we turned it into a gaming rig. Board looks pretty bad, not even a VRM heatsink. I mean, this is like this is probably like a 60 watt CPU, so who cares? You're not wrong.
It's an office box.
But yeah, it's an office box. It doesn't matter.
I just picked anything other than an H610 motherboard.
Yeah.
Like the motherboard was more of a just, here is an idea of price.
Yeah.
You could build something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we could make it like something that looks nice. It's bigger, but it looks nice. Yeah.
Yeah. You are now up to like £55.
Yeah. That much being said, though, that they get a Lian leaf for that. That looks really nice.
So you could have one of these.
That's presentable. I can be like, yeah, it's a little bit bigger than it was, but like it's a nice custom-built PC now.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's probably approximately the same dimensions, just wider, which is fine.
So yeah, you could have one of them.
Okay.
So yeah, or you've got, or the other option effectively is
Yeah, just
the
narrow it down
cheapest
to
co-link.
narrow it down to slim only. So go back to the cases.
Where am I?
Yeah,
There.
on your parametrics on the left. Just yeah, micro ATX slim only. What's the minimum?
That's it.
Man. Okay, yeah, this category just sucks then, yeah, because demonstrably there are slim ones, because we will look, the co-link one is slim, so yeah, just this category kind of sucks. Oh yeah, look at that, we've got micro ATX mid, micro ATX mini. What does this mean? Hypothetically, how much would an ITX motherboard cost? Because that opens up ITX cases. If we can find an ITX motherboard for less than £100, then that becomes viable.
£101. H610i.
That's fine. Okay, that opens up the door to ITX cases. It's not ideal, but if we can find an ITX case for like £30 or £40, yeah, I think we'll need an SFX PSU as well. Yeah, but you know,
That co-link thing?
yeah, I want something slim. The problem is all of these are designed to fit a graphics card.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, what's that fan text at the bottom of the screen right now? Evolve Shift 2. Okay, never mind. That's a UFO.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are all designed to fit a graphics card in.
Yeah, everything's going to be one of them, basically.
Yeah, it kind of depresses me. It's just no one builds slim PCs.
Well, no, because anyone who's building a custom PC wants a graphics card.
Yeah.
If you don't want a graphics card, you buy an Optiplex.
Yeah. Firephone says John's Bow NV10.
Wasn't that one of the ones? I can't remember. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, the wood's a little bit weird on that. I guess it's just because that's trendy right now, but it's £100 though.
Yeah. And only has a Type-C front panel.
Yeah, it's too expensive. Yeah.
Which is unfortunate, but yeah. Excuse me? DVI?
Yeah. It's a CGI image, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot wrong with that picture when you start looking into the details of it. So, yeah, we'll leave that there, I think. All right, let's have a look at that co-link. How much do I actually hate this? Yeah. It would work fine. Needs an SFX power supply. It's got a fan that will last 6 months and then cease. Ask me how I know. A while back in like sort of 2017, 2018, I was selling office boxes in cases like this because I wanted to compete with this slimline form factor, and it just resulted in me selling computers that were in just really nasty cheap cases. And every time they came back in for service, I was just like, I built this. And like they would come in and it would come back in with one of the fans with a shot bearing, and the customer would be like, oh, it's making a horrible noise. And the fan bearing has failed because it's a £16 case. And I'm just like, guess I'll unplug that fan. Like, it got to the point where I would usually just take the fan out of a case like that from build, because I'm like, this fan is going to fail, so I will just remove it now. You know, And so that's my problem. Is I don't want to be that guy, but it rebuilds their computer. If it solves the problem, it solves the problem.
It rebuilds their computer for effectively £75 in parts.
Yeah.
Because it can take an MATX board.
Yeah. SFX power supply. How much is a 350 watt SFX power supply? Yeah, Fractal Design Ridge probably, but yes, Fractal is going to be expensive. Techware Core Mini. Again, that'll be nice, but it'll also be a biscuit tin. It's going to have the same kind of build quality.
Oh, that's not what I wanted.
The Terra is nice, but also, again, it's Fractal. It'll be expensive. I kind of want to buy a Terra for my LAN box.
Your options are a GameMax GS 300 for £36 or a Sharkoon Silent for £75.
Okay. I mean, both of these are TAT, but both of them will be fine because it's an office box. It doesn't have a graphics card, so we don't super care.
Or a BeQuiet SFX-L for £100.
Yeah.
Those are your options, basically.
Yeah, I'd take the GameMax out of that because it's yeah.
Because it's the cheapest.
Yeah, and it's just like, again, for the class of computer we're building, we don't care about the power supply because the whole system is drawing maybe 100 watts.
Oh, that's not a terrible shout, actually.
A mini bare bones. Oh, I like the sound of that.
Yeah.
Tell me more. The Terra is $200. Oh, Fractal. Why? I love your designs, but you're too expensive. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. That kind of works. Oh, but it's DDR4. It's DDR4.
Oh, that's
so
unfortunate. Yeah, that kills it. Yeah. Oh, that's a shame because that looks really cool. £190. So let's call that £100 for a motherboard.
Oh, it also takes SODIMM.
Oh, that's a weird choice. But then, oh, well, for a bare bones, not terribly. Yeah, that's a cool little computer. But yeah, it doesn't fit with what we've got, unfortunately.
Huh.
I'm cool.
Wait, what? Oh, no. I thought the only video out was VGA, but no, there's DisplayPort and HDMI. Never mind.
I'm glad that someone's still rocking bare bones, though, because bare bones was a really cool era. That used to be all the rage.
Yeah.
The heckin' Asus Pundit, I think it was Asus Pundit series, was their bare bones series.
Asus.
But yeah. How much is the Geekom? Too much, because expensive. Yeah. I mean, also, you can't get mini PCs bare bones. Actually, I don't know, actually. Can you?
It will come with a processor.
Yeah, it's going to come with a CPU and stuff like that, so no, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your better choice is just to buy the cheapest £19 case.
Yeah, I think...
The cheapest motherboard and say, this is the cheap option. And then you say, but we can give you a much nicer case for this much. I think that's what you actually do. Yeah,
yeah. Or failing that, I'll gauge what they say up, because also, like, if I just... I'll say to them, you know, how much of a problem is the size? Does it just sit on the floor? Yeah. Because if we can go to micro ATX, then that kind of just solves the problem. We just buy generic micro ATX tower for 50 quid that comes with a power supply. And fill it and yeah, leave it at that.
Yeah.
So yeah, would you sell my Geekom? I'll be holding on to it for a while. I tend not to sell review stuff for at least a decent period of time. If anything, just sort of out of politeness, you know, like it's a free sample. It's mine to do with as I please, but I try to hold on to it rather than just instantly sell it. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, but I'm going to keep it kicking around just as a, you know, as a comparison thing to have on hand. It's a shame, like it's almost viable to use as a LAN box, but I already have a LAN PC that's better.
Yeah.
So yeah, otherwise I would keep it as a cool LAN PC to bring with me. But yeah, I already have one of those, so I think I'm just going to keep it kicking around as a spare computer. So like, anytime I'm like, I need a computer, I could be like, mini PC, you know. So yeah. Full size RAM, full size DDR. Sell the DDR5 for price. That's complicated though. Like, you're not wrong. That could be done, but also that's complicated. At that point, we're down to just the CPU and the SSD, and we're getting down into the why don't you just build a new computer land. So yeah, I'll talk to the customer and I'll gauge their response. They might turn around and say, you know what, I'm just going to go and buy a new PC from Curry's, and I'll be like, okay. That might be their response, you know. Dealcast says, I always found better options doing custom build than bare bones. Yeah, I mean, bare bones was never like cheaper, but a lot of the time you would get a cool competitive box for it. You would get something that is like compact in size because it's got a proprietary motherboard in it. Especially when you look at things like Shuttle PC. Like, were you around for the Shuttle PCs?
Yeah.
Yeah. Shuttles were awesome, and those were bare bones. Shuttles were an amazing way to get a cool, compact PC where you didn't have to do the whole build yourself. It's just fill in the blank spaces with your stuff. That's one of those brands where just every now and then I remember that they existed, and I think they still exist. And yeah, they were just super cool. That was a really good example of bare bones done right, because it wasn't necessarily as cheap as custom building, but in exchange for that, you got a cube, you know.
Yeah.
Hell, the first computer shop I ever worked at was called Cube Computers because my ex-boss liked Shuttle PCs, and built a lot of them for customers because his customers were just like, "Wow, it's so small and it fits on the desk," and he's like, "Cube." So yeah. How much for an Optiplex? Yeah, the Optiplexes I'm currently getting, I think I've got the Optiplex 5090, and that I think is 11th gen i5, and I think I'm buying them for about 200, and I aim to sell them for sort of 300 to 350. That kind of money, if my memory serves me. I can't remember how much I last paid for them though. How much is a replacement board for the thing? Well, the problem is, Si, I'm not sure if it's the board or the motherboard or the power supply, and I don't really want to find out. The power supply is a 12VO power supply. Begone hecking houseflies. It's hot weather. So yeah, I don't want to roll the dice on a new motherboard. I remember drooling over the shuttles. Yeah, the shuttles were so cool. The PC in the background has a message for you. It does. The message is that the SSD I've connected is goosed. When shuttle were big being small, I was heavily into lots of hard drives, so it wasn't an option. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Shame you can't test the PSU. Yeah. There's not really much I can do to find out there. I mean, I guess I could at least check the voltages on it, but I don't know. It's the computer is powering up. I'm pretty sure it's the motherboard, but I don't want to roll the dice on a replacement motherboard either.
Yeah.
I've been down this road with these things a couple of times, and HP's small form factor PCs seem to be awful, basically. They're small form factor PCs. The motherboards and the power supplies seem to be just universally awful, so I don't really want to try and fix it.
But yeah, for like £75 you can build it into a non-proprietary case.
Yeah, exactly that. And the only compromise there is the computer ends up being a bit bigger.
Yeah.
But then we end up having a custom build, and I can be like, it's now modular. Yeah. And it can be upgraded and expanded and repaired very easily. So I think that's a compelling use case for it. So yeah. think you've got a similar situation, one kicking around, but it was a celery, so it was easier to just, Like, the only reason why I'm hesitating is that we've got, 14400, 16 gigs of RAM and a 1 terabyte SSD. It's worth doing something with those components.
Yeah.
It would be, if it was just some piece of crap Celeron with a 256 SSD and 8 gigs of RAM or something, I would just be like, it's dead, Jim, here's an Optiplex,
Yeah.
But yeah, these components are good. It would be a shame not to do something with them. That could be a cheap gaming PC. Yeah, exactly that. Pair this up with the graphics card and you've got a pretty decent computer. Trade in, sell Optiplex. Yeah, that is an option. I think when I talk to the customer, I'll have to sort of gauge from them and be like, oh, what's this thing used for and stuff. And, if they're just like, oh, I just checked my email on it kind of thing, I could be like, look, I'll do you trade in on an Optiplex for X amount of sterlings, buy these components off them for cheap, and then use them to build up a gaming PC. That's an option. And I could, and given the value of these components, that might end up, I could sell them an Optiplex at a cost price, which would be a very cheap replacement for them and be a bargain for me, And then it's going to be a case of, okay, I have an opportunity to completely shaft the customer here without them knowing. Where am I going to draw that line in the sand? Because obviously the customer doesn't know that 16 gigs of DDR5 is worth a mint right now. It's only 5,600, but still, that's got to be worth, what, £150? Right there. 1 terabyte SSD. It's a Gen 4 drive. It's an OEM drive, but that's going to be completely fine. Well, it's made by Samsung, so that's £100 right there. And the 14400, that's brand new, probably £150. So these are good components. So yes, but yeah, I'm waffling, but yes.
On the Optiplex side, you're looking at like £500 for a 14th Gen 1.
For 14th Gen, yeah.
Yeah. Which isn't awful, I guess. But yeah, that's roughly.
It'd be good if we can find like a 14th Gen 1 that's got a dead CPU or something, but who's going to be selling that?
Well, yeah.
Keep the CPU with a DDR4 board. I could. Yeah.
I guess that wouldn't be completely awful because it's only a 14400. Yeah. I'd certainly feel bad selling an i5 600 or higher with DDR4.
Yeah.
Just because it's like a 15 to 50% performance difference depending on what you're doing.
Yes.
And like 15% is the difference between an i3 and an i7.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
Kind of thing. So it's just like, yeah, that's a massive difference.
Yeah. The Optiplexes that I get in, I'm fairly certain they're 16 gig ones. I think I've got ones with 16 gigs. I forget. Have I got any?
Yeah.
The ones I've got in are sealed in a box. They got delivered. I haven't even opened them yet. Let me just check if I've got one on the shelf. I do. What is this? Yeah, it's a 5090. So that's an Optiplex 5090. So these are what I sell as office boxes because, yeah, this is why I stopped building custom builds for office boxes, because when you can buy these, that's a lovely little office box.
Especially as it's got a slimline optical drive in it as well.
Yeah, they're dead silent. We've got a bunch of front USB ports. We've got a bunch of rear USB ports. It's got 6 USBs on the rear, you know. DisplayPort output, HDMI output, and this one has... how much RAM is in this? ISC1 stick. They usually come with 256 SSDs in, but it's an M.2, so you can fit whatever you want. And RAM-wise, yeah, that's got a 16 gig stick in it. So yeah, 16 gigs of RAM.
Nice.
So that's the thing. These things are great. The only reason why I'm not just immediately trying to hard sell the customer on one of these is just because they've got this hardware here, which is objectively superior. So it would be a shame not to do something with it. But yeah.
God. 11th gen Optiplexes are probably the only place where Rocket Lake sold.
Yeah. Yeah.
Legitimately, OEM PCs like these are probably the only place they actually went.
Yeah. Was it 11th gen?
That would
think
be
so,
10th.
yeah. 10th.
The
Oh, it might be
5090 is 10th gen.
Oh, it might be. Yeah, it's 10th gen then. Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, I think I paid a little bit. I think I paid a little bit extra. Like, it's probably not meaningfully faster than the 9th gen ones, which is the 3070, I think. However,
Should be somewhere around the 10.
I think I think I sprung a little bit extra for the 5090s because I didn't want to be selling 9th gen CPUs. And I'm like, can we at least get to a 10th gen? You know. Because obviously when the customer asks, oh, how old is it? And you're like, age isn't really the point here, but, you know, whereas these ones are at least like 2020, 2021, something like that.
10th gen, 2019.
Yeah, so it might be, if it was like on release 10th gen then, but yeah.
Well, yeah.
Bearing in mind when a new CPU generation comes out, it's not necessary. It doesn't necessarily immediately hit the brand new ones. So yeah, they have NVMe drives in them. But yes, ugh.
I do get the feeling that there's going to be a complete lack of Optiplexes newer than 10th, 11th gen on eBay. They're not going to hit the low prices like the 8th and 9th gen ones did.
What, because we've got to a point where people are holding on to them because they're fine? Kind of thing.
More that an awful lot of firms bought MacBooks instead.
Oh, I see, yeah.
An awful lot of big companies that were buying these by the pallet load bought MacBooks instead, because swapping to MacOS was easier than replacing a 9th gen Optiplex with a 12th gen Optiplex somehow.
Yeah, wouldn't surprise me. It would explain why it seems so difficult to find newer Optiplexes. Like, I'm sure you've had this dilemma as well, but have you also scoured eBay going, I want to be selling Optiplexes with something newer than a 9th gen in it, and you're just struggling to find something that makes sense, you know? Because, like, as I say, I think I found these ones for a decent amount of money, but it took a bit of digging to find something that made any sense whatsoever. And several times I was just like, I guess I'll just go buy the 9th gen ones again because they're £120. So,
I expect that the 11th gen ones will come down in price next year, just because that will make 5 years old 2022.
Yeah, you can only find 3080s for insane amounts of money. Yeah, see what we mean.
But yeah, like I think it will be next year for them to tick over 5 years.
Yeah,
because that's obviously when some offices went back.
Yeah.
So obviously right now you're buying hardware that would have been replaced during lockdowns, so it just didn't get replaced because people were on laptops.
Right, how much did I pay for these? Also, to answer who was it? Flavio asked, can you back up the drive from that Compaq Armada? I can. I'm not going to unless my friend asks me to, because there's probably nothing on it. But yes, I do have an adapter. I've got... can I see it with my eyes? Otherwise, I'm not going to bother showing it off.
Yeah, because you've got a 40 and a 44 pin adapter, haven't you?
I have, yeah. I've got a really old hard drive, USB to hard disk adapter that I used to use. That I still have kicking around, and it takes SATA 40 pin and 44 pin IDE.
Yeah, I bought a new one off of AliExpress this year. That was SATA IDE. PATA 40 and 44. And like it's integrated in one, so it's got Molex and a SATA power out of it.
Yeah.
And it's just like it's integrated in one box. I'm just like, that's more handy than having to have a
brick,
a Molex brick separate to this adapter.
Yeah. Yeah, I've just checked. I was paying like 250 for these things, which
That's
is
not bad.
it's fine because I can sell them at like 350 and have my £100 profit and include a data transfer and stuff. But certainly that's, I think, I remember paying that much and going, that's the most that I want to pay for this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't really happy with that price, but it's fine, you know.
Yeah, like
Because the problem is that £250 for this, and like, but I think what sealed it was £250, but you get a 10th gen i5 and it's got 16 gigs of RAM.
Yeah.
So like at the end of the day, with the current situation, it's fine because the only other option you have is a 9th gen one, which will be £120. But that's going to be 9th gen, probably 8 gigs of RAM. And again, now you're dropping down to 9th gen, it's just like, come on, you know. We're just getting perilously old, even though this one is only one generation newer, you know. Like, just because this one's the 5090 chassis, like the front of it looks much newer. It looks a lot more modern than the 3070 does. So, yeah. I'd want to get bulk for sub 200, yeah. Yeah, I don't buy these very often though. Like I'm getting laptops way cheaper than that.
Oh, the much skinnier one. Yeah, okay.
I put down like £1,500 for 10 Latitudes today because I found some at a decent price and was just like, yeah, I'll give you and I made that. I bought Latitude 7420s with i5 16 gigs of RAM at £150 a pop. 10 times. So
oh my god, that's awful.
It's AI though.
Yeah, but £730 with 8 gigs, or £906 for 16.
This happened the other day.
£200 to go from 8 gigs to 16.
A customer came in and was asking about laptops. And I was like, I sell reconditioned Latitudes, and they're like, no, I want it to be new. And I'm like, okay,
that'll be £1,000 then.
Yeah, and I said, let's see what Dell have got. And I went on Dell and like look up their minimum viable laptop. So yeah, and it's like £700 for the minimum viable laptop.
Laptop. What, the 14S? No.
Sure, minimum viable, whatever you can find. Like, customer comes in and says, I want a laptop to browse Facebook and browse my email. So we want like an i3 or equivalent, or i3 or Ryzen 3, 15-inch screen or something similar to that. You know.
I guess that. It's 780 quid.
There's one there. So the absolute cheapest is 570, but we're paying £570 for 8 gigs of RAM. And like, if I want to sell that to a customer, that's going to go north of 600. And so now we're paying what, 650, 670?
Well, it'd be 670 because it'd be £100.
Yeah, because I want to make £100 on a computer sale. So £670 for 8 gigs of RAM. Yeah. What are we doing? What the hell are we doing? Flies. Yeah. Or I can sell you a Latitude for £350 with 16 gigs of RAM.
Yeah, and it's soldered so it can't be upgraded.
Yeah. So yeah, it comes
with a 1440p screen though.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah, that's nice.
It sounds like the chassis is quite nice.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's not awful. Like a Core 5 120U, 16 gigs of RAM, 512 SSD for 800 quid.
Yeah.
That's not awful.
When the prices are fixed,
but yeah,
that thing will probably be more like, 550. And at that point, it'll be like, that looks like a cracking laptop for £550.
Yeah, the problem is, though, it's a i5 120U, which will be like a 7.5 watt processor. So it'll be like, hello, you can turbo to 3 gigahertz for 1/10 of a second.
Yeah, like it says 10 cores, but like that's what, one performance.
8, that'll be 8 E cores, 2 P cores, I think.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, also, my theory about I'm having second thoughts about my theory about cache on CPUs, because I had in a laptop with one of those miserable Pentium Silvers that I was complaining about with 4 megabytes of cache. And then I had in an old Latitude that had an i5 an i5 6, I can't remember if it was a 4th gen or a 6th gen, but it was an older i5 with 3 megabytes of cache, and it was just wildly faster.
Yeah.
So it's not the cache.
It would also be double the power, won't it?
Yeah, I think the clock speed was making it up and stuff like that.
It's also going to be the base clock.
Yeah,
not just what it turbos up to specifically.
Yeah, so obviously there are many factors that contribute to how fast the CPU was, but I think on a recent stream I was just like, it was awful because it only had 4 megabytes of cache. Yeah. It's like, well, no, actually, that wasn't the problem. That's not helping, obviously, but I saw an old i5 that had 3 megabytes of level 3 cache, and it was completely fine. So yeah. I sell the Latitudes for 400 these days. Maybe you're right, because if someone's like, oh, 400, you'll be like, by all means, go to Dell's website and tell me how much it costs there. How much is it from Currys? Last thing that we should probably wrap up because we're getting late. But yeah, minimum viable product from Currys. So we're looking for, again, i3 or Ryzen 3 equivalent. I guess 8 or 16 gigs of RAM, depending on what's about. Right, so
you can buy as the cheapest device something that has a Celeron N4020, 4 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of eMMC.
Yeah. So that's
running Windows 11.
Yeah, so that's manufactured e-waste. This is a trick. £180 sounds incredibly cheap with current situation, but like that laptop is not fit for purpose.
4 gigs of RAM.
Yeah. 4 gigs of RAM.
128 gig eMMC. And a Celeron N4020.
This is how you end up in my shop a week after buying it going, oh, it's brand new, it's ever so slow. And I'm like, I'm sorry, sir, you bought shit. And they go, well, it's a brand new laptop. I'm like, I'm sorry, there's no polite way to say this. You got tricked, my man. They just sell laptops that are not fit for purpose. All right, so let's go past all of the bollocks.
Yeah, I was going to say £240, an Intel N150, which is fine. 8 gigs of RAM, 128 gig UFS. It's like, that's how much you have to go up for it to not be 4 gigs of RAM.
To not be 4 gigs of RAM, but yeah, that Celeron is still going to be miserable. And also, I don't trust those UFS drives. Every time I see laptops with them, they just feel bad. So yeah. So, okay, Ryzen 3, 128 gigs, SSD.
Yeah, you're looking at about 300.
Yeah, what's the Lenovo? That's 300 as well. Yeah, okay, so yeah, these are 8 gigs. All right, so Currys have still got stuff that works. It's just Dell are just mega expensive right now. But there is still some options out there. Like, I'm not going to say these are good laptops, but like, the question is, what's going to be better, one of these or a Dell or a Latitude 7420?
Yeah, it's a fucking Zen 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Zen 2.
Yeah.
4 cores of Zen 2.
4 megabytes of cache, 15 watt TDP. So
it's a 2600.
Yeah. So even though it's a Ryzen 3, it's actually still kind of a potato.
Yeah. It's a 2600.
Yeah.
It's just been upgraded to take DDR5.
Yeah.
And Atom is faster than it.
Oh, gosh. Oh, that's devastating. Yeah. So but by the time we actually find something that satisfies us, we're going to be back in that 500 to 600 marker, aren't we?
Yeah.
And to be sure, like, again, these laptops function, but again, they're going to last a couple of years, and then you're going to be wanting a new one. You're going to buy cheap, buy twice. That's the problem here. So, yeah. And of course, yeah, build quality as well. Terrible. Zen 2 is fine for YouTube and email. Maybe. I'd have to use one to try.
But it's also kind of the case of, we're buying a brand new laptop here.
Yeah.
And it's Zen 2. Or you can buy a reconditioned laptop and get 9th gen.
11th
or
gen.
10th gen. Or 11th gen. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what we're competing against here.
Which is better in laptop.
Yeah.
Like, Zen 2 was better on desktop, but it's not better in laptops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, you could sell these Latitudes at up to 400 and still be getting a bargain.
Is this still Mendocino?
Yeah.
Still Zen 2. Yeah.
Zen 2, yeah. Yeah. And this is the thing,
think
yeah.
that's still Zen 2.
So the ones I get are usually the i5s. The i7s are kicking about, but I usually expect an i5.
Yeah.
But also on an I bought a bunch of these for my family. You know, my mum, my niece, and my nephew. And like my nephew, he plays Roblox on his. He gets on with it just fine. You know.
Oh, maybe that one?
How much was the laptop?
I don't know. I'll look in 2 seconds.
Okay, yeah. Barcelo.
Oh, there's AMD's website. Oh, that's drivers!
Go back, because one of the results said is based on Zen 3. Yeah, Tech Power Up.
Oh, yeah, but, yeah. Sorry, I was just trying to look for that.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, yeah, that will be the... Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, so
now we've got something that's Zen 3.
Yeah, we've got Zen 3, so we're into something vaguely more.
450.
450, yeah.
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 So you selling your
Epic
reconditioned one at 400 is still
Yeah.
not unreasonable.
Yeah. And that one you still get 8 gigs of RAM.
Yeah.
And there's a non-zero chance that that's soldered
Yeah.
and non-upgradable. So, yeah. Again, yeah, you can totally sell these Latitudes at 400 and they're still a good buy. As long as they're in good condition, like some of them show up and they're kind of beaten up. And at that point, you're going to be saying, okay, look, this has got the dented lid and some scratches on it, so I'll sell it a bit cheaper. But if you get a couple of Latitudes and you build some good ones out of them and get them in good condition, so yeah.
To get current... oh, there you go. Yeah.
Current gen stuff, we're up to 500. It's still better than Dell. Yeah, you get 16 gigs of RAM there as well. So yeah, just Dell right now. Dell brand new are a terrible deal.
What is this? Is this Kraken Point? Yeah, it's Kraken Point, so it's Zen 5.
Yeah.
I think. It's Zen 4 or 5.
Yeah.
It's
entirely
the same
viable.
So £500.
And you get 16 gigs of RAM on
Yeah.
that as well. So yeah, that seems like a half decent one.
Yeah.
I'm not fond of Vivo books, but spec-wise, that seems fine.
Yeah. For the same price, I'd possibly take the Omnibook.
Yeah,
Just because it's got a 540 and it's over a 530.
Yeah, the Omnibook is going to be better. That might have a metal chassis.
Yeah. And then it's like you're now going up to £700. Yeah.
Yeah. Next video is already out on the exclusive Discord channel.
Oh, wait, what did I say? Wait. Oh, that's Kraken Points. Yeah, so that'll be Zen 4. And then the 430 will be... oh
my god, these...
Kraken Ridge.
These houseflies are going to be the
So
death
yeah,
of
it will
me.
be Gorgon Point, which will be Zen 5.
Gorgonzola.
Yeah.
Cool.
But it's 55C.
Oh, yeah.
Not that that's specifically an issue. Oh no,
Yeah.
Kraken Point is Zen 5. Never mind. Ignore all of what I just said.
Fair enough.
It's still Zen 5 either way. Yeah, fine then.
At any rate, moral of the story, if a customer comes into your shop and says they want a brand new laptop, then don't go to Dell right now. Because Dell's prices just don't make any... Well, sorry, I'll rephrase that. Dell's prices reflect where everything is currently going. Apparently, Currys still have stock of stuff that is not completely insane.
Yeah, apparently.
So, yeah. So, that's interesting to know. However, even then, reconditioned Latitude is still king.
HP Omnibook
Also, just in case it comes up, I removed the BIOS password of a Latitude 7420 last night. It's super easy to do. So yeah, if you get any BIOS locked ones, that's not difficult to solve now.
How much is it normally? Yeah, see, it's 600. It's £600 from John Lewis, as opposed to £500 from Curry's.
Yeah, so Curry's are holding.
Curry's a hurry.
Curry's have got pretty good bang for buck right now,
Yeah,
given the current situation.
yeah.
So yeah. All right. I think that's all we got. Wow, we're at 3:30.
So yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I hope that was vaguely interesting, folks. Shame about the laptop, but it was kind of interesting to take it apart all the same.
And just look at something quite that old.
Yeah. I can't. Sometimes sometimes just a tear down is fun, and just be like, oh, look at that. So yeah.
Yeah, Curry's make all of their profits out of the add-ons.
Yes. Oh yeah.
So if you absolutely ruin the salesperson's day just by buying just the laptop, you can actually get quite a good deal.
Yeah.
Which is what I found when I bought the Chromebooks from them. Like I bought 5 Chromebooks for the office from a guy in Curry's. I was just like, thank you, goodbye. And the person was like,
Oh, that was just cost price to us. Yeah.
But it was also the fact it was a Chromebook, so they couldn't sell antivirus with it, and they couldn't sell Office with it.
Yeah.
Because it was a Chromebook.
He was probably like, can I sell your antivirus for your phone? You know?
Called
buying it naked, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Good. All right. Thank you everyone for watching. We won't be here next week, or I won't be here next week, because I will be at Ferality. So probably no show. Yes. Ooh. So no show next week unless Caradog decides he wants to do something, which he usually decides not to.
no, I don't have any plans.
Yeah. If you want to hear more of my stupid voice, I will be live tomorrow on Twitch playing Mina the Hollower, because it came out yesterday and I'm really excited.
What kind of game is it? Let me guess. Is it a roguelike?
No.
Oh.
It's a Metroidvania, you tool.
Oh, okay.
But yes, it's a Game Boy Advance style Metroidvania from the people who made Shovel Knight. Very, very anticipated game. I'm very excited for it. If you spoil it for me, I will kill you. That was sarcasm, just for the sake of everything. Anyway, but yeah, so I'll be back tomorrow. Won't be here next week. See you soon.
I will boil you.
Yes.
You will be boiled.
And we will hit end stream.
Boil that man.
Goodbye.
Bye. Oh, never mind. We've
Oh
been signed
no,
out.
we're logged out. Ah! Sure, ciao, ciao, again.
Au revoir.
Bye. I
So long.
apologise for the lack of drama in this exit. Kisses. All right, bye.
That'd be a good time to insert ads. No, it wouldn't.